Chapter 671. She pretended to be a pregnant woman in order to drive the train. She attracted attention and cursed loudly, as if she was right because she was loud. Shisheng threw away the belt in his hand. Now, do you still want to ride? The woman's face turned pale. After a while, she picked up the things on the ground and squeezed her way to the front. Su Shanshan was a little confused. This is my first lesson for you. Shisheng leaned back in his seat. Su Shanshan sat there in a daze. She didn't come back to her senses until she got off the train. Eat first. Su Shanshan nodded mechanically. After the meal, Shisheng took her to the train. The long journey was bumpy, and the little girl couldn't take it. When she got off the plane, she was very pale. With Su Shanshan, Shisheng couldn't go back to the mansion. She was confident that she could protect Su Shanshan. But the premise was that Su Shanshan was under her watch all the time. She couldn't keep Su Shanshan tied up all the time, could she? She didn't have much money on her. Shisheng could only sell the junk in her space. After she got the money, she bought a luxurious house and could live in it immediately. See which room you like. Shisheng put down the things in his hand. I can live anywhere. Su Shanshan stammered with a pale face. She knew that she was living under someone else's roof. She didn't dare to ask for anything. Shisheng didn't say much. He took Su Shanshan's things into a room that looked more girly. Su Shanshan was a little unaccustomed to the new place. She had been sick for the past few days. Shisheng didn't know how to cook. He could only go out to buy food every day. She missed the chef in the mansion. I've found a school for you. It's nearby. It's a 10-minute walk. You can start from junior high. Su Shanshan was taking medicine. She almost choked when she heard Shisheng. She swallowed hard. Sis. I didn't even finish elementary school. Go straight to junior high? She definitely didn't know how to. What are you afraid of? I'm a straight A student. I'll tutor you in elementary school. Shisheng paused. This semester is about to end, so you have to go to class next semester. You have time. Su Shanshan probably really wanted to go to school. Even when Shisheng told her to start from junior high, she accepted it silently and began to face Shisheng's devilish tuition. Su Shanshan was busy doing her homework while Shisheng was typing on the keyboard. The last piece of information the villagers told her might or might not be useful. With Li Tsuehua's looks and age, the place she went to was definitely not some high-class club. As for low-end entertainment clubs, there were a total of 5 or 6 in the city with the word Huang in it. However, Shisheng didn't get any useful information even after checking all the clubs. In the end, there was only one high-end club left, Crown Entertainment Club. Shisheng left Su Shanshan at home and went to the Crown Entertainment Club. All the entertainment clubs could be described with one word: resplendent. Shisheng entered the clubhouse and booked a private room. While waiting for the waiter to deliver the items, he asked, "Do you have someone called Li Tsuehua here?" The waiter thought for a moment and shook his head. "No, not before. I don't know about that." The waiter smiled and looked at Shisheng. "If you want to ask for information, I can help you call our manager, but there will be a special charge." Shisheng raised his eyebrows. "You do this kind of business?" No wonder the waiter didn't find her question strange at all. "It's our philosophy to provide better service to our customers." Shisheng nodded. "Business requires constant innovation. If you don't change, you can only stay in the same place. Miss, would you like to call the manager?" They get a commission for every deal they make, so the waiter was looking forward to it. "Go ahead." The waiter left with a smile. 10 minutes later, a woman with heavy makeup opened the door. Before she came in, Shisheng smelled a particularly strong perfume, the kind that made one's stomach churn. The woman smiled and walked over. She put her hands on her waist and bowed slightly. "Hello, I'm the manager of Crown Entertainment Club, Li." Shisheng nodded and pointed to the sofa next to him. "The smell is too strong. Sit away." Li didn't get angry. Instead, she suddenly laughed. "You're an honest girl," she said to herself. "You have to be prepared when you work here. This has nothing to do with your perfume." Shisheng paused and understood her intention. Ordinary people wouldn't be able to withstand such a strong smell. If it was someone who had drunk alcohol, they would probably vomit from the suffocation. Lily was about 30 years old. A woman like her was mature. She was good-looking, so it was normal for people to miss her. Lily glanced at Shisheng secretly. She was probably guessing whether Shisheng was really here to ask for information, or if she had other motives. So, young lady, what do you want to ask? We charge very high prices. Lily smiled and changed the topic. I want to ask someone. Ask someone. Lily thought for a moment. Ordinary people or people above. Lily was afraid that Shisheng didn't understand, so she explained. People above refer to officials. Ordinary people. One piece of information for an ordinary person costs 1,000 yuan. The price will be increased according to the difficulty of the information. Lily explained the rules to Shisheng clearly. After all, money was involved. Where this person is and what this person is doing are considered two pieces of information. Sometimes we don't necessarily have the information, so some information can't be obtained on the same day. Shisheng was speechless. This business was amazing. Young lady, who do you want to ask about? Li Tsuehua. Li Tsuehua. Lily asked curiously. Why do you want to know about her? It's personal. Lily seemed to know about Li Tsuehua and had a deep impression of her. Otherwise, she wouldn't have thought of her as soon as she mentioned it. Lily was in this line of work, so she naturally knew the rules. She cleared her throat. Although I don't know if you're asking about Li Tsuehua, I still have to pay for my information. What do you want to know about her? Who does she have dealings with? What kind of people do you mean? There were many kinds of people she had dealings with. The kind that isn't normal. This young lady was really good at asking questions. The Li Tsuehua I know is an employee here. She usually keeps a low profile, but once I saw someone lending her a luxury car at the back door. When I asked her about it, she stammered and tried to fool me. I sent someone to investigate. The person who picked her up was Zhao Quansheng, a boss in the steel business. Lily stopped at this point. That was the end of the message. Lily thought that Shisheng would continue to ask, but she didn't. Instead, she took out 1,000 yuan and passed it to him. You're not going to ask anymore? I'll check it myself. If Li Tsuehua didn't work here, they wouldn't have paid attention to her. Therefore, they didn't have much information on her. It was useless for her to ask. Chapter 672. Shisheng left the room and was about to go downstairs. Just as he reached the elevator, the door opened. Shisheng saw the heated scene inside and his mouth twitched. Son, there's no need to do it in public. Actually, it wasn't that heated. They were just hugging and kissing. So when the elevator door opened, Leng Yan and Ying Su separated. Leng Yan looked at Shisheng, and his eyes turned cold. Why was this woman here? Ying Su, on the other hand, looked at Shisheng cautiously and subconsciously grabbed Leng Yan's hand. Yin Mian. Leng Yan said her name slowly. It was as if he could eat her alive just by hearing her name. Son. Shisheng's eyes curved into crescents. Anger rushed to Leng Yan's chest. He clenched his fists so hard that he wanted to strangle this woman. Just as the two of them were looking at each other affectionately, chaotic footsteps came from the stairs. A few tall and strong men appeared in Shisheng's line of sight. These people came aggressively with guns in their hands. They didn't even bother to hide. When they saw Shisheng standing outside, they quickly ran over. Leng Yan heard the footsteps but didn't see anyone. However, he sensed danger. His expression changed and he reached out to press the button to close the elevator door. The elevator door wouldn't close for a long time. The people on the other side had already arrived. Leng Yan pulled Ying Su out of the elevator. When he passed by Shisheng, he pushed Shisheng hard. Shisheng didn't expect Leng Yan to be so immoral. He staggered from the push. Male lead, you're really something. Whoosh! A bullet came from behind. Shisheng could barely identify the bullet's location. He simply lay on the ground without caring about his image. Shisheng. So why was I the one who got shot again? She wasn't going to take the blame for the male and female leads. The people on the other side had already come up and surrounded Shisheng. She's with them. Capture her. The rest of you go after her. Wait for the sack. I'm not with them. Shisheng got up from the ground and calmly pulled out his sword. He pointed at the people who were coming to capture him and shouted fiercely, "Try touching I won't turn you into a stick. Baby." Her voice penetrated the wall of people and entered Shisheng's ears clearly. Shisheng's hand trembled, and he almost dropped his sword. Ah! Why did the pervert come? Shang Guanjiu walked in through the crowd and looked at her with a smile. "You're not a good boy, playing with such a dangerous thing." He walked closer to the Shisheng, reached out his index finger to the tip of the sword, and slowly pushed it to the side. Shisheng turned his iron sword and pressed it against Shang Guanjiu's hand. "You're not dead yet?" It was raining when she left. Shang Guanjiu must have been struck by lightning. That feeling must have been excruciating. Shang Guanjiu's face suddenly twisted. He did not want to recall that memory at all. Countless thoughts of torturing Shisheng flashed through his mind. The more he thought about it, the more excited he became. The way he looked at Shisheng seemed to have a strange green light. What was this pervert thinking? Fear. Shisheng shuddered and thrust his iron sword forward. Bang! Gunshots sounded at the same time. Clang! The bullet hit Shisheng's iron sword. The iron sword slanted to the side and scratched Shang Guanjiu's arm. Bang! 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 The gunshots were continuous. The bullets hit Shisheng like raindrops. Who allowed you to shoot? Shang Guanjiu kicked the person next to him. The gunshots gradually died down. The people next to Shang Guanjiu were not panting. They shot for his safety. How could it be their fault? Shisheng took the opportunity when Shang Guanjiu was teaching the servants a lesson. He popped his head out from behind the iron sword and was ready to stab Shang Guanjiu secretly. However, when he popped his head out, he saw another group of people walking towards them from the other end of the corridor. There were about 7 to 8 people. 2 men walked in front side by side. 1 person was behind them, and the rest were scattered on both sides. Shisheng realized that Li Li was among them. However, she was standing at the back with a cautious attitude. When Shang Guanjiu saw these people, his face became serious. Shang Guanjiu's men were really arrogant to shoot in public. The man in front continued to walk forward. However, the people behind him stopped. The people on both sides stepped forward and blocked the people behind them. "Mr. Shangguan, would you like to pay by cash or card?" One of the men was polite and gentle. He even had a faint smile on his face. Shisheng was speechless. What kind of development was this? Shang Guanjiu looked behind the man. He gritted his teeth and asked, "Shifei is back?" "President, she is back." The man nodded slightly. "Mr. Shangguan, would you like to pay by cash or card? Why is he back?" Shang Guanjiu continued to ask. "I can't tell you anything about President Xi." The man was still smiling. "Mr. Shangguan, you can't do the same thing more than 3 times. Would you like to pay by cash or card?" Shang Guanjiu suddenly wanted to walk over. However, the person behind him pulled him back. "Mr. Shangguan, don't be rash. Let go." Shang Guanjiu glared at the person who pulled him back. The person hesitated for a long time and slowly let go of his hand. Shang Guanjiu pushed the man in front of him away and strode over. Shisheng stared at the person over there and touched his chin thoughtfully. Hidden task. Dear carriage with a grand case. Shisheng was speechless. System, have you run out of idioms? Why are you using idioms that can't be explained anymore? I don't want to talk to the host. Task target, Shifei. Shisheng thought that Feng Ci didn't exist in this world. He didn't expect him to appear at this time. Shisheng looked over there. The wall of people blocked her view. She could only see the corner of his clothes. She was so angry that she wanted to cry. She had never seen Shifei in the plot. Naturally, she didn't know who he was. However, judging by Shang Guanjiu's attitude, he probably wasn't a good person. After all, Shang Guanjiu was a psychopath. How could someone who could make him so afraid be a good person? Is it really okay for you to talk about your Feng Ci like this? Shang Guanjiu quickly came out from inside. His face was extremely ugly. He actually asked someone to swipe his card. After the people on the other side swiped their cards, they immediately clustered around the person in the middle and walked back. Only Lily stayed. "Mr. Shangguan, are you done with the fight?" Lily went forward in a manner that was neither servile nor overbearing. If you're done, we can clean up the place. Shisheng was speechless. She was so calm. So what Shang Guanjiu swiped just now was the venue fee? Shang Guanjiu looked at Shisheng, who was still standing at the side. His eyes flashed with a trace of ferocity. Baby, see you next time. He quickly left from the other side with his people. Only a mess was left in the corridor, and the women standing at both ends of the corridor. Shisheng poked the ground with the iron sword and dragged the sword in Lily's direction. There were too many people just now, and Shisheng was leaning against the elevator. Lily didn't notice her until now. Lily's face changed slightly when she saw her dragging the iron sword aggressively. This little girl didn't look threatening before. Why did she look like a homicidal maniac now? Lily couldn't help but take a few steps back. Asterisk ha 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 ha. This is awkward. Chapter 673. Shisheng stood in front of Lily and stabbed the iron sword into the ground with one hand, and the other hand on her waist. As Lily's face changed color, she said aggressively, I want to buy another piece of information from you. Lily, why are you so fierce when you want to buy information? You scared me to death. No, I was with Shang Guanjiu's men just now. What's going on? Lily took a few deep breaths and suppressed the doubts in her heart. What information do you want to buy, little girl? Shifei. Lily's face stiffened and her expression froze. After a while, she said with a stiff face, Little girl, don't joke around. Hurry up and leave here, it's not safe. Lily turned and was about to leave. Who would dare to sell CEO Shi's information? Unless she didn't want to live. Lily's speed was very fast, as if she was afraid that Shisheng would catch up with her. When Shisheng came out of the clubhouse, a few cars screeched to a halt in front of her, blocking her way. The car in front of her slowly rolled down the window, and Shang Guanjiu's face slowly appeared. Baby, we meet again. Shisheng. What happened to next time? Liar. Baby, do you want me to invite you to the car, or do you want to get in yourself? Shang Guanjiu opened the car door, and was about to get out. Shisheng kicked the car door, and kicked Shang Guanjiu back. She leaned close to the car window and her smile slowly widened. I'll send you to heaven. Shisheng took out the iron sword and slashed at the car Shang Guanjiu was sitting in. King retard. I didn't look at the almanac when I went out today. Each one was more retarded than the other. An ordinary car couldn't withstand the destruction of the iron sword. The car Shang Guanjiu was sitting on became scrap iron in the blink of an eye. Shang Guanjiu ran down from the other side, and escaped the fate of being cut into pieces. Shang Guanjiu's men protected him and retreated a long distance. Sir, should we shoot? Is this woman human? The car was cut into such a horrible state. Why shoot? What if you hurt my baby? His baby could only be hurt by him alone. Everyone. If he didn't shoot, they would die. Retreat. Shang Guanjiu licked the corner of his lips, a hint of madness in his eyes. Baby, let's play slowly. Shisheng put one hand on his waist and pouted. How much hatred did Shang Guanjiu have against the original owner of this body? Why did he have to hold on to her and not let her go? The female lead was also quite good-looking. Shisheng turned around and looked at the entertainment club in the distance. Fortunately, there was no one around. Otherwise, she would be on TV again. By the time Shisheng got home, it was almost dawn. Su Shanshan had already fallen asleep on the table. Shisheng carried her to the bed tiredly. After taking a shower in his room, he sat in front of his desk and turned on his computer. Looking at the screen, she was at a loss. She suddenly didn't know what to do. Feng Xiai, Shisheng tapped his fingertips on the table. After a while, he clicked on the web page with the mouse. She slowly typed in Shifei's name. There was no report about Shifei on the web. Shisheng sighed and entered Zhao Quanxing's name. Zhao Quanxing was in the steel business. He started early and made a lot of money a few years ago. However, the business was not doing well in recent years. The company was barely holding on. Sister. Shisheng was startled by Su Shanshan's sudden appearance at the door. She turned on the light beside her and said angrily, Are you trying to scare me to death? I'm sorry, sister. I didn't mean to. Su Shanshan immediately apologized. What's wrong? Are you still not feeling well? Shi Sheng waved at Su Shanshan. Su Shanshan walked over obediently. She explained in a low voice. I got up to go to the toilet. I saw the light in the study, so I came to take a look. Shi Sheng touched her forehead. She didn't have a fever. Shi Sheng had gained some experience from guiding Yi Ran in the zombie world. She patted Yi Ran's head. Go back and sleep. Su Shanshan nodded obediently. Sister, sleep early. She looked up and glanced at the computer screen. Zhao Chuanxing's photo was displayed on it. Su Shanshan's face suddenly turned pale. Shi Sheng saw that Su Shanshan didn't move for a long time. He looked up at her. What's wrong? Su Shanshan's lips moved, but no sound came out. Her eyes were fixed on the computer screen. Shi Sheng frowned and pointed at Zhao Quansheng. You know him? Su Shanshan's voice was very low. Tears were already in her eyes. He's my uncle. Shi Sheng. All the missions were related. The system wouldn't let her adopt a child for no reason. Su Shanshan's grandparents had 3 children. Her father was the youngest. There was an older brother and an older sister. Her brother didn't have a good relationship with his family. He cut ties with his family a long time ago. Only the older sister was left. The older sister married Zhao Quansheng. When Su Shanshan's parents had an accident, the older sister urged Zhao Quansheng to take over Su Shanshan's parents' property and send Su Shanshan back to her mother. Okay, don't cry. Crying won't solve anything. Shi Sheng roughly wiped Su Shanshan's tears and pushed her out of the study. Don't think too much. Go to sleep. After settling Su Shanshan, Shi Sheng poured a glass of water and returned to the study to continue reading Zhao Chuanxing's information. Buzz buzz. Shi Sheng rubbed his eyebrows and looked away from the computer. He reached for his phone. The call was from an unknown number. Shi Sheng sniffled before swiping the answer button. Baby, Shang Guanjiu. Shi Sheng gritted his teeth. You called I in the middle of the night. Do you want to be killed? This pervert was awesome. Baby, are you going to kill me? I'm looking forward to it. Shang Guanjiu's voice changed, probably because of the phone. Come if you dare. Let's see if I dare to kill you. That won't do. Shang Guanjiu chuckled. I've prepared a gift for baby. I hope you like it. He hung up the phone. Then, Shi Sheng heard the doorbell ring. Shi Sheng. It was the first time he met such a crazy pervert. It was really exciting. So exciting that he wanted to kill him. Shi Sheng got up to open the door. There was no one outside. There was only a box that was taller than him. Shi Sheng walked around the box twice, took out the iron sword and stabbed it from the outside. There was something hard, but there was no movement. Shi Sheng stabbed the box 360 degrees without any blind spots before opening it. Looking at the contents of the box, Shi Sheng only had one thought. Kill Shang Guanjiu. He must be killed. He actually made her a naked sculpture. He even used some weird decorations on the special parts. Although this body was not hers, it was still disgusting to look at. At this moment, it was full of holes and one of his arms was pierced off. It looked extremely weird. The phone in his pocket vibrated. Shi Sheng took out his phone and opened the interface. There was only one message. Baby, do you like it? I'm looking forward to dressing you up personally. Love you, Jiu. Asterisk, I was scared to death by this pervert Shang Guanjiu. I want to kill him, ha 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 ha. Hashtag today, I'm looking for yam-flavored votes. Hashtag everyone. Don't cover your votes. Don't vote for me carelessly. Thank you on your knees, sincere face. Hashtag. Chapter 674. In order to kill Shang Guanjiu, Shi Sheng rushed back to the mountaintop where Shang Guanjiu lived overnight, but she did not find anyone. It was not that she did not find Shang Guanjiu. It was that she did not find anyone. The villa was empty. When Shi Sheng returned home, it was almost noon. As soon as she stepped out of the elevator, she saw an identical box outside her door. She was very sure that when she left, she kept the box in her space and destroyed the evidence. So this was sent after she left? Shi Sheng opened it and looked at it. Very good, a different posture. Shang Guanjiu, if I don't kill you, I'll live stream myself eating retards. Shi Sheng opened the door and went in. Su Shanshan was setting the table, and her face was not looking good. When she heard the noise, she forced a smile. Sister, you're back. Yeah. Shisheng nodded slightly. Did anyone come by just now? Su Shanshan blinked. There's a big box outside. Did you see it? No. Shisheng lied without batting an eyelid. Su Shanshan felt strange and ran to the door to take a look. She was even weirder when she did not see the box. There were only 3 families here, and their doors were far apart. Could it have been sent to the wrong house? It's a big box. Didn't you buy it? Su Shanshan gestured to Shisheng. I didn't buy anything. Maybe it was sent to the wrong house. Shisheng pulled out a chair from the dining table. Let's eat. Su Shanshan thought that Shisheng had a point. She did not hear anyone knocking at the door at home. It must have been sent to the wrong house. Su Shanshan's cooking was very simple, and the taste was not particularly good. It could only be considered edible. Shisheng quickly finished the meal. You'll start school in a few days. Tell me if you need anything. Shisheng took out a triangular amulet and a card from his pocket. Take this with you. The password is your birthday. Take this amulet with you wherever you go. Got it? Yeah, got it. Su Shanshan kept the items. She knew that even if she did not accept these, they would still appear in her room the next day. She could reject the things she gave her, but she did not listen. If you reject yours, she would give it to you. In her words, even if you throw it away, don't return it to me. Su Shanshan's heart was filled with warmth. This was the first time Su Shanshan felt the care and concern of a family after her parents' death. Those villagers treated her well, but they did it for the sake of her parents and her grandmother. Of course, she was still grateful to them. However, what they gave her was not the kind of warmth that she was experiencing right now. The deafening music was so loud that it was almost deafening. Colorful lights flashed as men and women in revealing clothes danced their bodies to their heart's content. Shisheng squeezed through the crowd. From time to time, someone reached out to pull her. Beauty, let's have some fun together. Don't go. Beauty. Tisk. Shisheng squeezed his way through the group of demons and ghosts and walked toward a small room that was guarded. As Shisheng approached, the bodyguard immediately reached out to stop her. Membership card. She's new here, Shisheng said calmly. The bodyguard sized up Shisheng a few times and used his earpiece to call someone over. After that, he said to Shisheng, 100,000 yuan as deposit. After paying the deposit, a dedicated waiter brought Shisheng in and introduced her to the rules of all the areas. Shisheng was not interested in these. She was here to look for someone, not to gamble. Therefore, when the waiter was chattering away, she directly used money to send him away. This underground casino was quite big. As Shisheng walked around, she saw many people. Some were happy, some were disappointed. When you were on the gambling table, you could be a billionaire, but when you were off the table, you could be penniless. President Zhao, long time no see. President Song, ha ha ha, long time no see. You've put on weight again. No, where have you been getting rich recently? I can't even see you. Now that I finally get to see you, you must play a few rounds with me. Shisheng looked at the 2 people who were exchanging greetings. After confirming that it was Zhao Quansheng, she moved to Zhao Quansheng's side. President Zhao? When Zhao Quansheng heard someone calling him, he turned around and sized up Shisheng. At first he was a little puzzled, but then he understood. Miss, I don't need your company. Shisheng's lips tugged up into a smile. I want to talk to you about something. Talk to him about something? Ha ha ha, since the beauty is looking for you, you should go. President Song patted Zhao Quansheng on the shoulder. Don't let her down. I'll wait for you at the usual place. Come over later. Hey, President Song. Zhao Quansheng wanted to chase after him, but Shisheng grabbed his arm. Little girl, I'm not into that. Let go of me. Zhao Quansheng pulled his arm hard. President Zhao, I want to talk to you about Li Tsuehua. What Tsuehua village girl? I don't know her. Let go of me. President Song, wait for me. Zhao Quansheng was a little anxious. Little girl, you're so young. Why are you in this line of work? Don't hold me back. There are so many people here. Go find someone else. Shisheng. You refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. Shisheng dragged Zhao Quansheng towards the restroom. The female restroom was full, so Shisheng pushed him directly into the male restroom. You, what do you want? Zhao Quansheng glared, and was a little angry. Little girl, how can you be so shameless? She actually wanted to force herself on him. Were little girls nowadays so open? Public morals were degenerating day by day. What's your relationship with Li Tsuehua? Shisheng blocked the door, and coldly interrupted Zhao Quansheng's thoughts. I don't know any Li Tsuehua. He was really looking for someone, but he really didn't know any Li Tsuehua or Zhang Tsuehua. You don't know her? Why did someone see you pick her up? Shisheng took a few steps forward and got closer to Zhao Quansheng. You're a big boss. Why would you pick up a stranger for no reason? Who would believe you? Since you can't remember, I'll give you a hint. She's Li Tsuehua from Crown Entertainment Club. What Crown Entertainment Club? Zhao Quansheng's voice stopped abruptly. He looked at Shisheng fiercely. The kind man suddenly became fierce. I don't know what you're talking about. Little girl, if you continue to be like this, I'm going to call for help. If you need men, go find someone else. I don't play with women like you. I spend millions every minute. Can you afford to play with me? Shisheng grabbed Zhao Quansheng's arm and pressed him against the restroom door. He said fiercely, I'll ask you one more time. What's your relationship with Li Tsuehua? F***ck. How dare you be so fierce with I? What an idiot. Cough cough. Zhao Quansheng was caught off guard. His face turned red. We're in Maple. How dare you cause trouble here? Do you want to die? What's wrong with Maple? Can you go to heaven? Shisheng increased the force in his hand. Ah. Zhao Quansheng screamed in pain, but he still gritted his teeth and didn't say anything. Asterisk please vote. Starry-eyed please vote. Chapter 675. It's true. I'm telling the truth. She's a friend of my wife. She used to visit my wife when my wife wasn't feeling well. I would pick her up when I was on the way. Zhao Quansheng's face was covered in tears and snot. Where did this shrew come from? She was so fierce. Li Tsuehua is from the countryside. How could she be friends with your wife? Who is your wife? Does she work with Li Tsuehua? Was she that easy to fool? Or was the word retard written on her face? His wife was not Su Shanshan's aunt. According to Su Shanshan, with her greedy personality, how could she be friends with someone like Li Tsuehua? Zhao Quansheng wanted to find an excuse, but the more he thought about it, the more blank his mind became. My wife and Li Tsuehua, they met at Crown Entertainment Club. At that time Li Tsuehua helped my wife once. My wife has a good temper, and to thank Li Tsuehua for helping her, they met a few more times and became friends. Do you believe that I will kill you if you continue to fabricate nonsense for me? No, I'm telling the truth. Zhao Quansheng raised his hands and swore. I'm telling the truth. Okay, call your wife. Zhao Quansheng was stunned. After a while he said hurriedly, Don't call my wife. I'll tell you the truth. I have a mistress. She used to work at Crown Entertainment. Is it worth hiding something like this? Shisheng narrowed his eyes. I'm just afraid that you're sent by my shrew. I think I still need to talk to your wife. Shisheng said seriously. Zhao Quansheng was so angry that his eyes turned red. He shouted, I've already told you. What else do you want? Shisheng said firmly, You're lying. Zhao Quansheng was furious. I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. Why are you looking for Li Tsuehua? Who is she to you? What's your motive? Shisheng's eyes turned into crescents. He smiled faintly. What are you hiding? What are you afraid I'll find out? Zhao Quansheng had been avoiding the important points and dwelling on the trivial. When he spoke, it was obvious that he had a guilty conscience. The words he said just now were obviously fabricated. Zhao Quansheng panted heavily. Were you sent by that tigress? Bang bang bang. Who's in there? How could you lock the door? Come out, I can't hold it in anymore. Open the door. Bang. If you want to do something, go get a room. What are you doing here? Open the door. The door of the toilet was kicked loudly, and the sound of cursing could be heard. Zhao Quansheng's eyes darted around as he rushed to the door. Before he could touch the door handle, a mirror suddenly appeared in front of him. Cold air hit him in the face. He looked at himself in the mirror and almost couldn't recognize who he was. The people outside only heard a dong sound, and then there was no more movement. They kicked him again, cursed, and ran away quickly. Zhao Chuanqing's back was against the door. A chill ran from the soles of his feet to his head. Who are you? In the end, Zhao Quanqing couldn't resist Shisheng's violence. Zhao Quanqing did have a mistress outside, but she wasn't his mistress. He was taking care of her for someone else. That someone else was Leng Yaotian. He used to work for Leng Yaotian for a period of time. Later, he married the daughter of the Su family and started to make his own fortune. However, he was indebted to Leng Yaotian. When Leng Yaotian asked him for help, he couldn't refuse. Li Tsuehua was an accident. She used to be a helper in his house. When he found out that she was stealing, he fired her. He didn't expect that Li Tsuehua would bump into him when he sent that woman to the hospital. Li Tsuehua knew that he was afraid of his wife, so she used this to threaten him. Whether it was because of Leng Yaotian, or because he was afraid that his wife would find out, he gave Li Tsuehua a lot of things after that. Because that woman's health wasn't good, he asked Li Tsuehua to take care of her. At first, Li Tsuehua was quite attentive. However, later on, she either sneaked out or stole things. Probably because she had done too many immoral things, Li Tsuehua got sick and didn't have much time left. That woman pitied her and asked him to send Li Tsuehua back to Huangshan village. Who is that woman to Leng Yaotian? For Leng Yaotian to try so hard to hide her. She must be his true love, right? Zhao Quanqing whispered. How would I know? Leng Yaotian didn't allow him to ask. He even said that the more he knew, the faster he would die. He didn't want to lose his life. Then what's her name? Her ID is Chinyu. However, that's probably a fake ID that Brother Yao made for her. I don't know her real name. Zhao Quansheng's face was sad. He put his hands together and said, That's all I know. Can you let me go? Give me her address. Zhao Quansheng looked at the iron sword in front of him. He made up his mind and said the name of a place. He couldn't even save his life now. There was no other way. He didn't think that this woman was joking. She really wanted to kill him just now. Brother Yao, I'm sorry. However, everyone is trying to survive. I believe that you won't blame me in hell. Zhao Quansheng comforted himself in his heart. He didn't mean to let her down because he wanted to save his own life. Shisheng stared at him for a few seconds and slowly put the iron sword away. Zhao Quansheng's legs were still weak. He opened the door in a hurry and staggered out. Shisheng put the iron sword away and was about to go out when a man came in from outside. He looked at Shisheng and then went out to check the toilet sign. He didn't enter the wrong door. Shisheng walked out calmly. When he passed by the toilet sign, he wanted to turn the two signs around. However, he found that they were fixed. He couldn't turn them around. Shisheng. This is awkward. The man stood at the door and looked at Shisheng's retarded behavior. Shisheng waved his hand and walked out calmly. Even if he failed to show off, he had to keep it up. He couldn't be a coward. The man. So what was she doing just now? Shisheng turned a corner and heaved a sigh of relief. She patted her chest. Showing off was a physical activity. She needed to take it slow. After dealing with Zhao Quansheng, she still had to deal with that pervert Shang Guanjiu. I hate perverts. I hate perverts plus 1 2 3 4 5 6. Shisheng took out her phone to check Shang Guanjiu's location. However, the moment she took out her phone, the black screen lit up. She had an incoming call. Seeing the number, Shisheng hung up without hesitation. The other party didn't call again. Instead, he sent a message. Baby, I saw you. Did you come here to look for me? I didn't expect you to love me so much. I'm waiting for you at 8808. Shisheng gritted his teeth and typed a few words slowly. Very good. Clean up and wait for me. See if I don't turn you into a stick. Come on, baby. Asterisk, come on, baby, vote. Chapter 676. Shisheng found room 8808. There were people guarding outside. When they saw Shisheng, they let her in without any resistance. The room was very quiet. As soon as Shisheng entered, The door behind her was closed. Suddenly, the room started to fill with smoke. Shisheng was speechless. What a pervert! Shisheng covered her nose and turned around to break open the locked door. The door was cut into 2 pieces. The door fell down, bringing out the smoke from inside. The people outside looked at the woman who walked out of the smoke in horror. Mom, there's a violent maniac here. Shisheng quickly ran to a place where the smoke could not spread. The people who were standing outside just now all fell to the ground. In a certain room, Shang Guanjiu looked at the white monitor. He swirled the red wine in his hand, put it to his mouth and took a sip. The red wine stained his lips, bringing out a layer of bright red. Baby, I like you more and more. Shisheng did not want to admit it, but she had to admit that Shang Guanjiu was a smart enemy. The scariest thing was that this enemy was also a pervert. This undoubtedly increased the difficulty of clearing the game. Looking at the worlds before her, without the protagonist's halo, she could almost tear the entire world apart. It was not that she could not tear Shang Guanjiu apart with her bare hands. It was just that Shang Guanjiu was very smart. The difficulty of the dungeon increased, which meant that she had leveled up as a player. Okay, this was Shisheng. She had to pay for breaking someone's door. Before she could escape, she was stopped by the casino's people. Miss, which part of our casino's door is not to your liking? Do you want to break it? The manager looked at the door that was broken into 2 pieces on the ground. Oh my God! What did she use to break it so neatly? And there were people lying on the ground? The manager's face became serious. Miss, are you fighting here? What fighting? Shisheng rolled her eyes. It's called fighting when both parties fight. I didn't fight with them. How can it be called fighting? Is your language taught by a vet? The manager was speechless. Isn't language taught by a math teacher and a physical education teacher? How did you become a vet? What does it have to do with a vet? The veterinarian was speechless. How could he be blamed for being too beautiful when he was lying down? At this time, the smoke had already dispersed, so the manager, who didn't have time to check the smoke, didn't know how these people were lying on the ground. Ahem. The manager cleared his throat. Miss, you didn't fight with them. Why are they all lying on the ground? Was he still alive? He seemed to still be breathing. Shisheng spouted nonsense in a serious manner. It's cooler on the ground. Miss, don't talk nonsense. Please come with us to the surveillance room. With the surveillance footage as evidence, let's see how she can still quibble. Why should I? Shisheng tilted his head and looked at a group of people walking by in the distance. Shisheng was very familiar with those people who surrounded Shifei last time. A passing staff member bent over and stood by the side, waiting for them to pass. Who is that? Shisheng suddenly pointed at the group of people and asked the manager. The manager looked over and didn't try to hide anything. That's our CEO Shi. Miss, I advise you not to try anything funny. Their president Shi. So this is Shifei's property? Shisheng raised his eyebrows slightly. Oh, what if I try something funny? The manager put on a fake smile. Then you may not live to see the sun tomorrow. Shisheng glared at him. Are you threatening me? The manager nodded. Miss, you can understand it that way. So are you willing to come with us to the surveillance room now? Fine. She didn't do anything. She didn't believe that the surveillance footage would show that she did. The manager led Shisheng in another direction. The man who was about to walk past suddenly turned his head. He only saw a few staff members carrying the corpse away. He frowned slightly and slowed down his pace for a second. Xiyoshi? Shifei looked away and his pace returned to normal. What's wrong with the Green Dragon clan recently? Leng Yan has been with a woman recently. According to our reliable information, Leng Yan is most likely interested in that woman. The person who answered paused. That woman is called Ying Su. She's from the Black Tiger clan. She's from Shangguanjiu. She turned traitor. The Black Tiger clan is now looking for her. Shifei was silent for a few seconds and asked, do you have any clues about the thing I asked you to investigate? Ziyi. Leng Yaotian has been dead for so long. There are many clues that are hard to find. Leng Yan and the Black Tiger clan also seem to be investigating something about Leng Yaotian. If I may be so bold, what exactly does Leng Yaotian have? Why did CEO Shi come all the way here? Shifei didn't speak. The man didn't dare to continue asking. He lowered his head and followed beside him. Surveillance room. The manager looked at the screen of the surveillance camera. His expression changed. Shisheng spread his hands and said innocently, "You see, I said it's not my fault. These people were plotting against me. I was just defending myself." The manager took a deep breath. "But it's a fact that you destroyed the door. Miss, you still have to pay for it. Even if she didn't hit those people, it was you who destroyed the door, right? I don't have money, but I can pay with my body." This time, Feng Xi's identity seemed to be a little high. She couldn't get close to him at all. The manager was shocked and pointed at Shisheng. "How can you be so rude? What are you thinking, big brother? Even if I pay with my body, it's not my body. I can pay with my body, CEO Shi. Pfft. Where's my quick-acting heart reliever? This woman is simply crazy. Miss, are you here to be funny? If you pay with your body, CEO Shi will be the one to suffer. With your beauty, it's impossible for anything to happen between you and CEO Shi." Shisheng touched his face. Even if his face wasn't devastatingly beautiful, it was still beautiful. Why was it impossible? Isn't it popular to sign a contract now? I destroyed your door. Hurry up and ask CEO Shi to sign a contract with me. All possible relationships start from a contract. Manager. Has this child read too many novels? Manager, if you don't read novels often, how would you know what she's talking about? It's night now. Please stop daydreaming, miss. The manager said with a straight face. Our door is imported from Germany. It costs 20,000 yuan per door, plus the air freight and decoration fee. I'll charge you 50,000 yuan. Is CEO Shi someone who can be coveted by anyone? Shisheng glared at him. Why don't you go rob a bank? 50,000 yuan for a door? Does he think my money grows on trees? The manager ignored Shisheng and said to himself, deduct it from your deposit. Shisheng. What the F***ck? This isn't in line with the script. Wasn't it said that if you destroy something, you'll be able to sign a contract? Why can't it happen to me? I'm not convinced. Director, I'm asking for a retake. I want to sign a romantic contract with my Feng Xi. Asterisk compensate me, ha 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 ha. Chapter 677. Shisheng's deposit was deducted, and he was kicked out of the underground casino. Shisheng was exhausted. She didn't even see a strand of Feng Xi's hair. Shisheng looked at the colorful signboard outside. The flashing light dazzled her eyes. The air was a little moist, the night was silent, and there was a chill. She stood for a moment, then walked back gloomily. She was so upset, she wanted to kill someone. Shisheng returned home, made sure that her things were not damaged, then went to the room to check on Su Shanshan. The light in her room was still on. There was an exercise book on the table, and the little person fell asleep on the table. Shisheng curled his lips in disgust, went forward and carried Su Shanshan to the bed. Sister. Su Shanshan was still in a daze. She called out and fell asleep again. Shisheng turned off the light and left the room. The night wind blew gently, blowing away the dark clouds in the sky, revealing the bright moon, as white as a jade plate. The clear light fell, shrouding the building with a layer of hazy gauze. Shifei stood in front of the window. The moonlight cast his long shadow on the ground. He was wearing headphones, listening to the other party's report with a calm face. President Shi, Shang Guanjiu's people came in just now, targeting a little girl named Yan Mian. Their purpose is unclear. Yan Mian? Shifei whispered softly. The other party thought Shifei was asking for Yan Mian's information, and immediately said, Yan Mian is Leng Yaotian's woman, 22 years old, an orphan, graduated from a famous university, and was taken into the mansion by Leng Yaotian as soon as she graduated. The voice on the other side paused. It's strange, Leng Yan got rid of all of Leng Yaotian's women, leaving only Yan Mian. Shifei didn't reply for a long time. The person on the other side asked carefully, President Shi, should I follow up? Yes. Shifei hung up the phone, took off his headphones, stood silently for a moment, reached out and pulled the curtains. The room suddenly plunged into darkness. September 1st, school started. Shisheng sent Su Shanshan to school. Su Shanshan, who hadn't even finished elementary school, suddenly entered the junior high school campus. She was a little nervous and helpless. She followed behind Shisheng, carefully and expectantly looking around. This was the school she would live in from now on. Go in. Shisheng escorted Su Shanshan to the door of the classroom. Su Shanshan looked at the Shisheng, then carefully glanced at the classroom that was already filled with people. She hesitated for a few seconds before slowly walking in. Shisheng stood outside and looked at her for a while before turning to leave the school. She drove to a high-end residential area. The main entrance was definitely not open. She parked the car by the side of the road, went around to the back of the residential area, and climbed over the wall to get in. Following the address given by Zhao Quansheng, he found the room number. Shisheng reached out to press the doorbell, but it didn't open for a long time. Ding! The elevator door opened, and two women came out. They were probably residents of this place. Seeing Shisheng standing in front of the door, one of the women suddenly asked, "Are you looking for Qin Yu?" "Yes." Shisheng nodded. The woman said, "She's not here. She was taken away by a few people last night. I bumped into them at the entrance of the neighborhood. I don't know who they are." The woman was Qin Yu's neighbor. When she was free, she would chat with Qin Yu and walk around. Yesterday, she came back late from working overtime. At the entrance of the residential area, she saw Qin Yu and a few people get into a business car. Qin Yu got into the car on her own, so she couldn't say anything. Shisheng asked the woman for the exact time. It happened earlier than when she had interrogated Zhao Quansheng. If it wasn't Zhao Quansheng, then who was it? Shisheng climbed over the wall and went to the entrance of the residential area. He went to the gate and said that he was Qin Yu's relative and had something to discuss with her. The gate guard couldn't contact Qin Yu, and Shisheng also said that he couldn't contact her. Using the excuse that he was worried about Qin Yu, he got information from them that Qin Yu had left with a few men last night. However, it was too dark so they couldn't see what they looked like. Shisheng asked to check the surveillance footage. The gate guard was also afraid that something might happen. After asking the manager, he agreed to let Shisheng see the surveillance footage. According to the surveillance footage, around 10 o'clock, Qin Yu and a few men came out of the residential area and got into a black business car parked outside. It was exactly as the woman said. The surveillance footage outside the residential area didn't capture the license plate of the business car, so there was no way to track it. Shisheng thought as he walked back. From afar, he saw a group of people surrounding the place where he had parked his car. His car was being towed away by a tow truck. F***ck. I can't be this unlucky. Shisheng rushed over and negotiated with the staff for a long time. After paying the fine, the matter was settled. The protagonist could park anywhere he wanted. Why did she have to be fined for parking her car? Biased, bad review. Shisheng drove back. Qin Yu had been taken away by someone. Who could it be? Shisheng filtered through all the suspicious people in his mind, but he didn't think of anyone. Shisheng returned home and received a sculpture from the pervert Shang Guanjiu. It covered all the places that shouldn't be covered, and the places that should be covered were exposed. It looked very erotic. To be honest, anyone who saw such a sculpture would want to destroy the person who made it. How perverted was he? Shang Guanjiu, this idiot. I'm so angry. Shisheng entered his room and made a detailed plan. Although it was a detailed plan, it was actually just a few sentences. First, kill Shang Guanjiu. Then kill the male protagonist. Finally, take care of Feng Xi and complete the mission. As for Qin Yu, she had been taken away anyway. She couldn't be bothered to investigate. Sooner or later she would appear. Shisheng rarely made plans. Usually when she made a plan, she would definitely complete it. Shang Guanjiu was the real boss of the Black Tiger clan. So Shisheng started with the Black Tiger clan. To solve a problem, one had to start from the root. The monk could run away, but the temple couldn't. The Black Tiger clan and the Green Dragon clan were the two biggest gangs in the country. They were always in a state of fighting for territory. Both wanted to be the biggest, but no one wanted to give in to the other. The Black Tiger clan's business was more complicated than the Green Dragon clan's, such as smuggling and selling guns. The police hated these people to the core. They couldn't wait to arrest them and put them in jail for the rest of their lives. At this time, a group of policemen was lying in ambush in an abandoned warehouse. Everyone held their breath and waited. A voice came from the earpiece. "Captain Dye, they're here." One of the men gestured to the people behind him. Everyone immediately loaded their guns. The roar of the car was getting closer and closer. They were about to enter the warehouse. Just as the car was about to enter the warehouse, there were a few consecutive explosions. A few cars were blown over. The explosion shook the old warehouse and made the dust fall, blocking the view of the policemen. The policemen were stunned by the explosion. This wasn't the way to deal with criminals. They didn't even make the deal, and they blew up people? Didn't this mean that they didn't even have the goods? "Captain Dye, go out and take a look. Be careful." Captain Dye gestured. The car was completely blown up. Black things were spread on the ground. It was unknown whether it was human tissue or car parts. Asterisk, please vote. Chapter 678. The police only detected human tissue at the scene, but they did not find the goods. This time, their informant risked his life to leak the news. If they could catch these people, they might be able to remove a big tumor. But now with this bomb, it was all gone. They still had no idea who did it. Just as the narcotics squad was confused, the guard suddenly received a package. The package was for the narcotics squad. The guard handed the package to Captain Dye. Captain Dye was tall and a little tanned. There was a scar on his face. He did not look like a police officer at all. Instead, he looked more like a gangster. "Captain, what are you holding?" "I don't know. The guard just gave it to me. The name is for the narcotics squad." Captain Dye put the package on the table. The people in the office immediately surrounded him. Could it be a bomb sent by someone? It was not like no one had done this before. It was normal for them to think so. "It's very light. It shouldn't be." Captain Dye took a sip of water and said loudly, "Open it and see." He asked people to take turns to weigh the package. It was indeed not heavy, and the package was not big either. It could not have contained a bomb. One of them took a knife and cut open the packaging tape. There were some newspapers stuffed inside. "Whose prank is this? Who sent us newspapers?" "It's all newspapers. See if there's anything under it." They pulled out all the newspapers from the package. After a while, they found an envelope. There was only a note in the envelope. "National Day gift package. I wish you a happy overtime, everyone." This was definitely a prank. Are people so bored these days? They don't have enough fun on the internet. Have they started to play with the narcotics squad? These people should be educated. We're working for them, but they're using us as a pastime. The others were a little angry. After all, who knew that they were being used as a pastime? Those who were not angry were not normal people. Captain Dye looked at the note over and over again for a long time. The note was handwritten, but it looked a little like a child's. It was crooked and looked very clumsy. These people were already angry because of the previous case. Now that they were being played like this, they were even angrier. "Let's go and eat. We're so unlucky." "Captain, don't look at it. It's a prank. Let's go and eat." Captain Dye was dragged to eat. When he met people from other departments, this group of people immediately began to complain. Someone comforted them. "Didn't she send you a National Day gift package? Just treat it as a celebration for you." Captain Dye felt that something was wrong. There was something wrong with that sentence. He mentioned a National Day gift package, but why did he say that he would be happy working overtime? When he returned to his office, his things were still piled up on his desk. When it was time to get off work, the others left one after another. Only Captain Dye was left in the office. In the middle of the night, a group of people from the narcotics squad who had already fallen asleep were woken up by Captain Dye's series of life-threatening calls. "Captain, what are you doing? We haven't slept for a long time because of that case, and now we're not allowed to sleep?" "Captain, we know you're not willing to give up. But we've been investigating this matter for a long time, and we still don't have a name for it. Why don't we rest up and continue investigating tomorrow?" Come and take a look. Captain Dai ignored the complaints of these people and asked them to go to the office that was usually used for meetings. The blackboard in the office was already filled with newspapers. Everyone. Captain, what are you doing? Captain Dai pointed at the newspapers and quickly said, These newspapers have traces of being sketched out. Some are words, some are numbers. I made a few displays and got an address. Captain Dai pointed at the address written on the side. Everyone rushed to the blackboard and looked at the newspapers pasted on it. Then they compared it with the address written by Captain Dai. Everyone had a strange expression on their faces. People nowadays were so powerful that they could play with them like this. They thought that it was just a note. They didn't expect that there was a hidden meaning. The office was silent for a while. Then someone said, Captain, what do you mean? Let's go and take a look. I think there's something in that place. Everyone. Although they felt that it wasn't very reliable, everyone still followed Captain Dai. In their line of work, some things that were not very reliable might be the truth. They couldn't let go of any clues. And the facts proved that they had really come to the right place. In the abandoned granary, there was a mountain of drugs. The case that was originally at a dead end immediately had another clue after this batch of drugs was discovered. After that, packages were sent to the anti-narcotics team one after another. Every time there was a different way to crack it. As long as they cracked it correctly, there would be unexpected gains every time. It was safe and fast. But if they cracked it incorrectly, the consequences were very serious. Once they got the time wrong and lost 2 brothers. At this time, the anti-narcotics team didn't know how to locate this mysterious package. Captain Dai, do you think the person who sent this package is helping us? Or is he playing with us? Captain Dai looked at the latest package. The previous lesson taught him that they couldn't completely rely on this package. Because there were no mistakes in the previous few times, they let their guard down. Did you find the person who sent the package? No, the delivery time is not fixed. The people who sent the package are all couriers. Although there is a logistics list, we can't find the logistics tracking information. Did you notice that these packages are targeted at the Black Tiger clan? Several of the cases that we solved were more or less related to the Black Tiger clan. Do you think it could be done by the Green Dragon clan? The Green Dragon clan doesn't smuggle drugs, but they trade arms and have always been rivals. This is very likely. While the anti-narcotics team was having a headache, the Black Tiger clan was also having a headache. Shang Guanjiu, the person behind the scenes who rarely appeared in the Black Tiger clan, appeared at this time. A skinny and dark man spoke first. Sir, the cops know our movements like the back of their hands. I suspect there's a mole. Every time there's a big operation, only a few of us know. Are you saying that you suspect there's a mole among us? A man with thick eyebrows and big eyes next to him was not convinced and glared at him fiercely. The skinny and dark man snorted. The situation is like this now. Everyone is a suspect. You're so agitated. Could it be that you're the mole? Skinny, don't talk nonsense. I've been with Sir for so many years. Why would I betray him? Shang Guanjiu supported his chin and looked at the two of them arguing back and forth until their faces turned red. When they were tired of arguing, Shang Guanjiu slowly put a piece of paper on the table and pushed it forward. Under the puzzled gaze of the crowd, Shang Guanjiu slowly stood up and smiled slightly. Your opponent is her. She's a very powerful girl. Don't let me down. Everyone's gaze fell on the piece of paper on the table. Shang Guanjiu, if you want to play, let's play big. Yin Mian. Asterisk hashtag today's celery flavored vote hashtag vote, vote, vote. Love you all. Good night. Chapter 679. Shi Sheng had ruined the Black Tiger clan's business several times. She had asked the police to arrest most of the underlings before she started to confront the Black Tiger clan. Even if the Black Tiger clan members knew that Shi Sheng was behind this, they couldn't do anything about it. They couldn't beat her, they couldn't scold her, and they couldn't even run away from her. This girl was invincible, okay? The Black Tiger clan members were now most afraid of meeting Shi Sheng. But often, what you were most afraid of was what you would encounter. The Black Tiger clan members who were being chased by Shi Sheng said that they wanted to quit. They wanted to turn over a new leaf. They would rather cry in prison than suffer outside. Compared to these members who couldn't withstand the test, the core members of the Black Tiger clan held on longer. They had been running the Black Tiger clan for so many years. They couldn't let it be destroyed just like that. What did Sir say? The skinny man shook the Black Tiger clan member who had just returned. Does Sir really want to see the Black Tiger clan destroyed by that lunatic? Sir said that as long as she's happy. The Black Tiger clan member said with difficulty. He also said, the skinny man was anxious. What else did he say? He also said that we're trash. The skinny man's fingers loosened. His eyes were full of disbelief. When Sir said that someone was trash, it meant that that person had been abandoned. So now, the entire Black Tiger clan had been abandoned? Oh no, Yan Mian is here. This shout was like a bomb. Everyone's mind went blank, and they instinctively retreated into the hall. A delicate young girl slowly walked in from outside the door. She was holding an iron sword in her hand, which shone with a cold light. There was a smile on her face, but if you looked closely, you would find that her eyes were as calm as a 1,000-year-old lake, without the slightest ripple. In her eyes, they were no different from air. The skinny man pushed the people in front of him away and shouted angrily, Yan Mian, the Black Tiger clan has no enmity with you. Why do you keep targeting us? Shi Sheng stabbed the iron sword into the ground. Her expression was slightly arrogant. Just when the skinny man thought that she was going to make a declaration, she slowly said, Everyone has a responsibility to eliminate drugs and gangs. Everyone has a responsibility to eliminate drugs and gangs? Are you here to be funny? This woman, who used to be the woman of a mafia boss, actually told them to crack down on prostitution and gangs. Why didn't she say that she was actually Spider-Man and wanted to save the world? Do you want to go to the police station by yourselves, or do you need me to send you there? Shi Sheng tilted his head slightly and looked at the group of people. The people here were all core members of the Black Tiger clan. If these people were sent to the police station, the Black Tiger clan would have nothing to show for it. The skinny guy was so angry that his face turned ashen. This woman was too arrogant. Brothers, let's fight it out with her. Even if we die, let's drag someone down with us. The skinny man raised his arms and shouted. However, not many people responded to him. The others weren't like those who sat behind and commanded. They had seen this woman's valiant side. She had single-handedly turned the Black Tiger Hall into what it was today. Would she be easy to deal with? They didn't want to die. I surrender. I'll turn myself in. I'll turn myself in now. I'll turn myself in too. Two people threw away their guns and ran in the direction of Shi Sheng. However, they had only taken a few steps when two gunshots rang out. The two people fell to the ground one after the other. This is the result of anyone who dares to run. The skinny guy pointed his gun at a few people who were about to rush out. You want to surrender? You want to turn yourself in? The person who was pointed out immediately retreated to the group, shaking his head like a rattledrum. The skinny guy nodded in satisfaction. However, before he could turn his head, he saw the group of people continuously retreating. Their eyes were filled with fear. It's the same whether you run or not. It's a pity that two people died for nothing. A clear voice rang out from behind him. The skinny guy felt his scalp go numb. It was as if there was a man-eating monster behind him. If he moved even a little, he would be eaten. He had been in the underworld for so many years, but he had never been in such a sorry state. He didn't even have to fight head-on, and he was completely defeated. There was only one thought in his mind: escape. The sound of sirens came from afar. He had never felt that it was so pleasant to the ears. All the core members of the Black Tiger Hall were arrested. These people did not have time to destroy the criminal information in the headquarters, so it was all in the hands of the police. Coupled with some of the things that were constantly picked out during this period, the main few people were probably going to be sentenced to life imprisonment. In just a few short months, a huge tumor had been completely eliminated. This could definitely be compiled into teaching materials. The police did not know who was helping them from the beginning to the end. Some people suspected that it was the Green Dragon clan, while others suspected that it was an internal conflict within the Black Tiger Hall. However, no matter how much they suspected, they had no evidence. In the end, it could only become an unsolved mystery. It would be circulated in the circle for a long time. Shang Guanjiu, the mastermind, was also involved. However, even the Shisheng did not know where Shang Guanjiu was. How could the group of idiots the police find him? There were several documents in front of Shifei. The tablet next to him was playing a video of a young girl fighting dozens of people alone. In the video, the young girl wielded the iron sword fiercely. The seemingly cumbersome iron sword looked very light when she wielded it. Although her moves were not methodical, they did not lack beauty. Every move and every style looked gorgeous and practical. If it was in ancient times, this would definitely be a rare visual feast. Shifei did not look away until the video ended. There were several people standing in front of him. They all bowed their heads, looking respectful and cautious. Shifei raised his head and looked at one of them. "You were not discovered by her?" The man immediately replied, "President Shi, we were very careful. She could avoid the detection of the police and so many surveillance cameras, but she did not discover you?" Shifei's voice echoed in the room, like a pressure that suddenly pressed on several people. She is also a human, not a god. Their people were all elites. How could ordinary people compare to them? Of course, this could not be said. He could only answer tactfully. Shifei threw the tablet from the table. 5 minutes and 6 seconds. Several people looked at each other, carefully picked up the tablet, and fast-forwarded to 5 minutes. At that time, the fight had not started yet. The young girl seemed to be talking to someone. At 5 minutes and 4 seconds, she took out her sword and quickly glanced in the direction of the camera. This may be a coincidence. The person holding the tablet did not believe it. If she really found out, why didn't she make a move? Why did she let them film her? 8 minutes and 25 seconds, 12 minutes and 41 seconds, 15 minutes and 6 seconds. Shifei continued to report a few numbers. Several people fast-forwarded. After watching the several time points mentioned by Shifei, they could not help but believe it. She really knew that they were secretly filming her, but why didn't she do anything? President Shi. Should we get rid of this woman? Add more thank you to the local tycoon Buried for tipping RMB. Chapter 680. After the Black Tiger clan was wiped out, the situation in the country became delicate. All the forces were curled up and did not dare to show their faces. When the Black Tiger clan was interrogated, someone revealed Shisheng's name. However, Shisheng did not smuggle drugs, kill people, or commit crimes. Other than the fact that she used to be Leng Yaotian's woman, she was as clean as a piece of white paper. How could the police believe what they said? Shisheng did not kill anyone. When she made a move, she basically knocked people unconscious. She never endangered their lives. Killing is against the law. I know. Speak human language. If the host knows that killing is against the law, it calls her daddy. Dealing with the body was too troublesome. Shisheng did not have time to care about Su Shanshan recently. Now that she finally settled the Black Tiger clan, she took the time to pick up Su Shanshan. This school did not have evening self-study in junior high. When Shisheng arrived, school was just over. Shisheng waited until all the students had left before Su Shanshan carried her bag and walked out with her head down. In the middle of winter, she only wore a sweater. Her hair was messy, and her hands were red from the cold. Shisheng honked twice, but Su Shanshan did not look up. She opened the car door and got out. Su Shanshan. Su Shanshan looked up in shock, then quickly lowered her head and called her softly, "Sister." Shisheng reached out and pinched her chin, forcing her to look up. Her other hand grabbed her hand that was trying to cover her face. Who did this? Su Shanshan had bruises at the corner of her eyes and forehead, and half of her face was swollen. I fell down myself. Su Shanshan avoided Shisheng's eyes. Shisheng sneered. You fell down yourself? You can leave a handprint on your own? Why don't you show me? Who did this? I'll ask you one last time. Su Shanshan was sometimes afraid of Shisheng. Being questioned by Shisheng so coldly, Su Shanshan trembled and blushed. Her eyes were red as she said a name, Zhao Xiaojiang. Shi Sheng let go of Su Shanshan, took off his jacket and put it on her. Just tell me if you get bullied in the future. You don't have to hide it. As one of my people, you must have this awareness. I allow you to complain. Su Shanshan suddenly started sobbing softly, as if all the grievances she had accumulated for so long had all rushed up at this moment. Shi Sheng took Su Shanshan to the hospital for a full body checkup. Other than her face, there were several injuries on her body. Fortunately, it was not serious and would recover after a few days of rest. On the way home, Shi Sheng drove in silence. Su Shanshan sat in the passenger seat with her mouth pursed. Her head was almost buried under the car. How is Zhao Xiaojing related to Zhao Quansheng? Shi Sheng asked her as they passed the traffic light. Su Shanshan sniffed sun. When did I start bullying you? How many times did he bully you? During Christmas, they bullied me whenever they saw me. Su Shanshan did not want to talk about this, but since Shi Sheng asked her, she had the urge to tell her everything. The red light turned on, and Shi Sheng continued to move forward without asking any more questions. The next day, Shi Sheng sent Su Shanshan to school. Because Su Shanshan came from the countryside and was not very talkative, she was not popular in class. Seeing someone drive her to school, the students were curious. Some of the bolder ones asked Su Shanshan directly. Su Shanshan, who are you? My sister. Su Shanshan always sounded a little shy when she spoke. Her voice was soft and pleasant. Your sister is so pretty. Su Shanshan looked at Shi Sheng, who was holding her hand, and grinned, revealing 2 small canine teeth. My sister is the prettiest. A group of students followed behind them, chattering all the way to the classroom. At the door of the classroom, Shi Sheng suddenly asked Su Shanshan, which class is Zhao Xiaojing in? Year 3, Class 7. Before Su Shanshan could answer, someone beside her answered, he often bullies Shanshan. Go to the classroom. Shi Sheng pushed Su Shanshan into the classroom and asked the boy where Year 3, Class 7 was. The boy did not think too much and took the initiative to bring Shi Sheng to Year 3, Class 7. He even pointed at a fat boy to Shi Sheng. He is Zhao Xiaojiang. Everyone in his class calls him Fatty Zhao. Zhao Xiaojiang had almost turned into a ball. His seat was equivalent to 2 people's seats. He was currently pulling a boy's ear. A few other boys surrounded him and jeered. The boy whose ear was being pulled could only clench his teeth and did not dare to make a sound. Fatty Zhao, someone is looking for you. The boy called out to someone in the classroom. Zhao Xiaojing looked towards the door and saw a beautiful sister that he did not know. He was a little confused. He let go of the boy and slowly walked out of the classroom. Zhao Xiaojing's tone was very aggressive. Looking for me? Who are you? Why are you looking for me? The students nearby whispered to each other. Who is she? Su Shanshan's sister. Fatty Zhao always bullies Su Shanshan. This time he is in trouble. Fatty Zhao's family is quite rich. He should be fine, right? She drove here. I've seen that car in a magazine before. It's worth millions. And look at what she's wearing. It's all branded. The students nowadays were very familiar with these things and could recognize the brands at a glance. Speaking of which, I didn't notice before. Su Shanshan's clothes are all branded. Su Shanshan's clothes were not too bright. They were a little plain, so they did not pay much attention to it. Your dad is Zhao Quansheng? Shi Sheng looked at the little fatty in front of him condescendingly. The corner of his mouth slowly curled into a smile. You know my dad? Zhao Xiaojing was slightly surprised, but then he waved his hand habitually. Don't expect me to help you, even if you bribe me. Shi Sheng's eyes narrowed. He suddenly grabbed his hand and easily threw him to the ground. While the students gasped, he gave Zhao Xiaojing a beating. Ah! Zhao Xiaojing screamed like a pig being slaughtered, resounding throughout the teaching building. The teacher who heard the commotion pulled away Shi Sheng and let Zhao Xiaojing escape from the clutches of the demon. Shi Sheng pouted and blew. Zhao Xiaojing, go back and tell your dad that the person who beat you is called Yin Mian. If he has the guts, come and find me. If you dare to bully Su Shanshan again, I will bankrupt your family. They divided up Su Shanshan's things, and now they dare to bully Su Shanshan. The Zhao family is really shameless. Hearing Su Shanshan's name, Zhao Xiaojing, who was still wailing, opened his mouth and roared. You were called by that damn girl Su Shan? You dare to hit me. Ouch, it hurts. My dad won't let you go. He won't let Su Shan go. Just you wait. I'll wait. What can you do to me? Shisheng flicked his bangs. With your dad's guts, you want to fight with me? Zhao Xiaojing was young and did not understand what Shisheng was saying. He kept yelling, asking the teacher to call his dad. Zhao Quanxing usually doted on his son. When he heard that his son was beaten, he put down his work and rushed over. Seeing the woman standing in a pile of radishes, Zhao Quanxing almost fell down the stairs. Asterisk, please vote, woo woo woo. Chapter 681. The teacher invited all of them to the principal's office. He wanted to invite Su Shan too, but Shisheng stopped him. Zhao Quanxing did not dare to object. Miss Yan, even if Zhao Quan was a bully, you can't hit him. He's still a child. The principal reprimanded Shisheng. He hit Su Shan. Are we just going to let it go? Shisheng retorted. The principal pushed up his glasses. This is a legal society. If Zhao Quan really did bully others, the school will punish him. Shisheng said confidently. Can punishment erase the fact that Su Shan was hit? I didn't beat him up. I did what he did to Su Shan. What's wrong with that? If you think I'm wrong, you can punish me. I've already hit him. The principal was speechless. He had seen many unreasonable parents, but this was the first time he had seen a parent who wanted the school to punish her so confidently. What's the use of punishing you? Well, Zhao Quanxing interrupted weakly. My Xiaogang was wrong. I won't hold him responsible. Zhao Quanxing's mind was flooded with one sentence. How did this woman get involved with Su Shan? He already thought it was strange that Su Shan suddenly appeared here. At that time, he only knew that her guardian was called Yan Mian. He did not know that this Yan Mian was the one who blocked him in the toilet. If he knew, he would not have allowed Zhao Xiaogang to bully Su Shan. But now that things had come to this, it was too late to regret. The principal was confused. If Zhao Xiaogang was bullied in school before, Zhao Quanxing would make a scene. Why did he admit defeat so easily this time? Dad. Zhao Xiaogang did not understand. She hit me. Look my face. Zhao Quanxing slapped his son on the head. You little brat, I let you study here, not bully others. Zhao Xiaogang was stunned. After a while he said, Dad, it's not you and Mom. Shut up. Zhao Quanxing pulled Zhao Xiaogang to the back and apologized to Shisheng with a smile. Miss Yan, it's all my fault for not teaching him well. Please be magnanimous and forgive him this time since he's still a child. Don't worry, Xiaogang will never bully Shan again. Shisheng snorted. Forgive him? Then who will be responsible for Su Shan's mental trauma and psychological trauma? Do you think an apology is enough? Dad, why are you so afraid of her? She beat me up like this. You have to make her apologize to me and pay for it. Zhao Xiaojing was not convinced and shouted at the back. Zhao Quanxing wanted to find a needle and sew up Zhao Xiaojing's mouth. You want this woman to apologize to you? Was he tired of living, or did he not want to live anymore? Zhao Quanxing glared at Zhao Xiaojing. Miss Yan, what do you want? Return Su Shan's inheritance, and let Zhao Xiaogang apologize to Su Shan in front of the whole school. Zhao Quanxing's expression changed. Zhao Xiaojing shouted anxiously. I don't want to apologize to her. What right does she have? If he apologized in front of the whole school, where would he hide his face? Zhao Quanxing pinched Zhao Xiaojing in exasperation. Was this the time to talk about this? The principal was dumbfounded. What the hell was this? Why did it have to do with the family property? Miss Yan, this is our family's business. You're an outsider. You have no right to interfere, right? Zhao Quanxing lacked confidence and spoke without much momentum. And we're just helping her keep it. When she's an adult, we'll return it to her. We're all family. Why would we harm her? Shisheng sneered and unceremoniously exposed him. Why did you send Su Shan back to the countryside if she's a family? Why didn't you raise her? Shan was young at that time. She kept asking for her parents. We had no choice but to send her back to the countryside. Sheng had experienced Zhao Chuanqing's ability to make excuses. That's not important. Sheng smiled. What's important is that you have to return the inheritance to Su Shanshan. I'll find a lawyer to notarize it and hire a professional to take care of it. When she's an adult, she'll be adopted. So don't say that I'm fighting with you for that little money. Zhao Quanxing was rendered speechless. This shouldn't you at least ask for Shanshan's opinion? Zhao Quanxing continued to struggle. His company wasn't doing too well. If it weren't for Su Shanshan's parents' company, it would have collapsed a long time ago. If he really returned the company to Su Shanshan, his family would have gone bankrupt. You won't cry until you see the coffin. Shisheng asked the students outside to call Su Shanshan. Zhao Quanxing saw Su Shanshan coming in, and immediately smiled. Shanshan. Su Shanshan's eyes flashed with disgust. She walked to Shisheng and stood beside him. Sister? Zhao Chuanqing's expression was stiff and awkward. Are you willing to take back your parents' property or just give it to them? Shisheng was never one to be tactful with her words. She was always straightforward. Although it wasn't very pleasant to hear, it was easy to understand. Su Shanshan blinked and asked innocently, Can I? Of course. Even if you don't want it, it's better to take it back and squander it than to leave it in the hands of these idiots. Principal. Was he teaching her how to squander? Will it be troublesome? Su Shanshan didn't understand these procedures, but she knew that the family wars that were often broadcast on TV were often over property. You're the first in line. What's so troublesome about it? Su Shanshan was already so old. Even if she couldn't manage the company directly, it wouldn't be a problem to hire someone to do it. Shanshan were family. Zhao Quanxing put on the face of an elder. It's the same for us to keep it for you. When you're of age, we'll return it to you. We can't trust outsiders with our family's property. Shanshan, don't you agree? Su Shanshan was very resistant to Zhao Quanxing. It was their family who came to her parents' house and took away her parents' belongings. In the end, they even sold the house and drove her out. I want to take it back. Su Shanshan's tone was firm. Sister, I want to take back my parents' property. Shisheng looked at Zhao Quanxing with a slight smile. Did you hear that? If I don't see the share transfer agreement in 3 days, we'll meet at the crematorium. You should know whether I dare or not. Zhao Quanxing swallowed hard and had difficulty breathing. It was as if the air in the room was being sucked away. His back was already soaked in sweat. His body was cold and his limbs were numb. He couldn't move at all. In his eyes, there was only the eerie smile on Shisheng's face. The background principal. Miss, did you say something wrong just now? Shouldn't we meet in court? Why did you suddenly jump to the crematorium? Asterisk little fairy. If you don't vote, we'll meet at the crematorium. 233333 cherub. Idiot. Chapter 682. Zhao Quanxing left with Zhao Xiaogang. He couldn't afford to offend this woman. Some people were inhumane when they went crazy. In Zhao Quanxing's eyes, Shisheng was such a person. The principal looked at Shisheng and Su Shanshan dumbfounded. After being a principal for so many years, he didn't know what to say. Shisheng glanced at the principal. What, do you want to punish me? The principal was speechless. Punish my ass. The point is, what's the use of punishment? Ahem, since student Zhao doesn't want to pursue the matter, then let's forget about it, the principal said dryly. Shisheng's face was cold. I wasn't kidding when I said I would apologize to the whole school. Is Su Shanshan someone he can bully? The principal was speechless. Why did you take advantage of the situation? Don't you know when to stop? Miss Yan. Shisheng waved his hand at the principal, signaling him to stop talking. He held Su Shanshan's hand and left the office. Zhao Quanxing didn't dare to play any tricks and quickly sent the things over. Zhao Xiaogang was probably taught a lesson when he went back. Although he was reluctant, he still apologized to Su Shanshan at the school meeting. Zhao Xiaogang bullied a lot of people in school. Now that he was taught a lesson, many people clapped their hands and cheered. Most people were curious about Su Shanshan's mysterious sister. If she could make Zhao Xiaogang bow down, then she must be more powerful than Zhao Xiaogang. The students were also a small group. After this incident, Su Shanshan had more people around her. No matter what the original intention was, Su Shanshan had her own friends in the future. Shisheng didn't know where Shang Guanjie was hiding. He was excited but also depressed. He was excited because there was finally someone who wasn't retarded and could play a few rounds with her. He was depressed because she still couldn't get close to her Feng Ci. He didn't know what the male and female leads were doing recently. He hadn't seen them in a long time. Was it because of what happened recently that scared them? It couldn't be, right? Ding! An email suddenly popped up on Shisheng's computer. Shisheng collected his thoughts and opened the email. After reading the email, Shisheng's lips curled up slightly. A male and female lead who didn't cause trouble weren't qualified to be male and female leads. These two people were getting engaged. And their biggest turning point was when they got engaged. The female lead left on the eve of the engagement banquet and found out that the male lead was the son of her father's murderer. How could the female lead accept that she fell in love with the son of her father's murderer? So he ran away. She let the male lead face the ridicule and suspicion of so many people alone. What followed was all kinds of abuse, which made Shisheng's heart ache. The engagement ceremony was next Wednesday. As a stepmother, Shisheng naturally had to attend. Although she wasn't invited, who would dare to stop her from going back? The people in the mansion refused to see Shisheng. They didn't want to see her. When Leng Yan received the news, he immediately ordered his men to capture her. In the end, they did not manage to capture her. Instead, they were beaten up so badly that their parents could not recognize them. Yan Mian, what are you trying to do? Leng Yan was exasperated. Shisheng slowly sheathed his sword. Son, you wanted to catch me the moment I came back. Is this how you treat your elders? You deserve to die. Leng Yan's eyes were filled with hatred, as if it would overflow in the next second. Shisheng asked back with a strong thirst for knowledge. Oh, why do I deserve to die? Leng Yan just stared at Shisheng without saying a word. If looks could kill, Shisheng would have died many times over by now. The room was silent for about a minute. Leng Yan suddenly sneered. Since you want to come back, then come in. Shisheng frowned slightly. What was the male lead thinking? Would he be so kind as to let him in? I was already prepared to kill my way in. But you just asked me to come in? My dear male lead, this is not the right way to go. Please don't break the script. I'm very confused. Leng Yan didn't stay for long. He left after saying that. Shisheng stared at his back for a long time. Then, he jumped over the people lying on the ground and walked towards the mansion. They hadn't seen each other for a few months. The mansion had changed a lot. In the past, they only planted Chinese roses. Now there were roses. The bright red roses were in full bloom. The fragrance of the roses floated to the tip of his nose. Shisheng walked through the path surrounded by roses and entered the mansion. The servants in the mansion had also changed. Shisheng walked in. These servants didn't recognize him. They looked at Shisheng in astonishment. Someone ran to find the housekeeper. The housekeeper knew Shisheng. Why are you panicking? That's Madam. The housekeeper scolded the panicking servant. Madam? The servant didn't understand. Young Master Yin hadn't married Miss Yin yet. Where did this madam come from? She's Mr. Leng's wife. Since young Master Yin let her in, you should serve her well. Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. The housekeeper said and walked towards Shisheng. The servant was stunned. Mr. Leng's wife? It took her a while to react. Everyone called Leng Yin young Master Yin. The only person who could be called Mr. Leng was young Master Yan's father, Leng Yaotian. This was Leng Yaotian's woman? Madam, your room has been arranged in the independent villa next door. Please follow me. The steward said in a tone that was neither servile nor overbearing. Shisheng didn't have much of an opinion. It was the same wherever she stayed. The housekeeper had experienced Shisheng's unreasonable pestering before. Seeing that she was so cooperative now, he couldn't help but feel relieved. This villa wasn't the one Leng Yan and Ingsu lived in before. It was one further away from the main mansion. It only had 2 floors. It looked a little old. The outside was full of withered creepers. Under the dark sky, the whole villa looked a little gloomy. I haven't had time to clean up these. I'll get someone to clean it up tomorrow. The housekeeper explained. Shisheng looked away and walked up the stairs. Madam, if you need anything, you can just call me. The housekeeper opened the door for Shisheng. This place is clean. You can stay here. I'll send 2 more people over later. No need. Shisheng waved his hand. She had to keep an eye on them when they were under her nose. It was troublesome. The housekeeper didn't say much. He told Shisheng about the layout of the villa and quickly left. Shisheng went from downstairs to upstairs. This villa seemed to be for a woman to live in. It was full of feminine elegance. But the lighting wasn't very good. It felt a little gloomy. Lung Yaotian had so many women. She didn't know who it was for. In the original owner's memory, it seemed that other than her, Lung Yaotian's women didn't live in the main mansion. After the original owner was brought into the main mansion by Lung Yaotian, she had always lived in the main mansion. She rarely went out. Even if she went out, she wouldn't go to such a remote place. So why did Lung Yan arrange for her to live here? She didn't think that the housekeeper had the ability to arrange a place for her. Was he trying to scare her by pretending to be a ghost? That was too tasteless. Do you think I'm so easily frightened? Idiot. Asterisk, please vote. Chapter 683. The mansion was very lively, but the villa where Shisheng lived was very quiet. At night, the villa looked even more gloomy. Shisheng, who was not afraid of anything, went to bed as soon as the sky turned dark. In the middle of the night, she vaguely heard someone crying. Shisheng immediately sat up and glanced around the room. Finally, she looked at the door. Whoa, the sound was very soft. If there was a strong wind, it would not be heard. Did Lung Yan really want to scare her with ghosts? Oh my God, you're amazing. Shisheng got out of bed, opened the door and went out. The corridor outside was very dark. Shisheng followed the sound and went downstairs. She stopped at a room on the first floor. She listened for a while and confirmed that the sound was coming from inside the room. Shisheng looked at the door. When she came in today, there was no door. Shisheng turned the door. The door was not locked and opened easily. There was nothing in the room. Half of the room was separated by a metal fence. There was a weak light inside the fence, reflecting a petite and weak figure. Shisheng. The male lead also played this kind of game? Shisheng felt for the wall beside him. He found the switch and pressed it. The room suddenly lit up. The person inside the iron fence let out a low cry and curled up into a ball, shrinking into a corner against the wall. Shisheng stood at the door for a while. He was not in a hurry to go over. Instead, he raised his head and looked at the ceiling and the surroundings. There were surveillance cameras in all 4 corners of the room. Shisheng looked at the surveillance camera and smiled. Then, he quickly turned off the light. The room was filled with crackling sounds. Lung Yan's surveillance camera went dark in an instant. Lung Yan stood up suddenly. Turn on the switch. The person beside him turned on the switch in a hurry. After the switch was turned on, the light did not light up. They looked at each other. The mechanism was broken. Young Master Yan. Lung Yan was so angry that he slapped the person nearest to him. Didn't you say that it was foolproof? That person covered his face and lowered his head. He did not dare to speak. They said that it was foolproof only if this person was an ordinary person. But this woman did not look like an ordinary person at all. However, they did not dare to talk back. They could only endure Lung Yan's anger. Lung Yan strode out of the room. The others looked at each other and quickly followed him. Shisheng didn't turn on the lights until he was sure that all the mechanisms were destroyed. The lights flickered and went out slowly. The room was still dark. Shisheng took out his mobile phone and shone it into the iron bars in the room. The man on the other side of the iron fence held his head and shivered. His mouth made a soft whimpering sound, and he looked terrified. Shisheng hacked open the locked iron door and entered. He asked tentatively, "Qingyu?" The woman's body trembled. She had probably heard a different voice because she slowly raised her head. To be honest, Shisheng was frightened by her face. Some of the crisscrossing scars had already scabbed over, while others were fresh and oozing pus. It looked extremely disgusting. If Shisheng hadn't seen the jewelry on Qinyu's wrist and seen it in her neighbor's photo, She definitely wouldn't have recognized Chenyu. Chenyu's eyes were red and swollen. But when she saw Shisheng clearly, her eyes suddenly blazed with passion. Mian Mian. Mian Mian. She propped herself up and kept repeating this name. Her wrinkled face was a little distorted, and tears fell uncontrollably. She reached out to Shisheng. Mian 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 my Mian Mian. Shisheng was speechless. What kind of joke was this? He didn't understand the current situation. Chenyu had already grabbed Shisheng's arm. Her hand was very delicate and a little cold. She touched Shisheng's face from his shoulder. Shisheng instinctively avoided her hand. Mian Mian, I'm Mom. Chenyu choked and her voice was out of tune. I'm Mom. Look at Mom. She could actually see her daughter. Chenyu felt that she had been offended before. She could see her only daughter. She suddenly thought of something and turned around. Don't look, don't look. I look so ugly now. Shisheng was speechless. What did this mean? Yan Mian was Chenyu's daughter? This melodramatic drama, I'll give it full marks. Shisheng brought Chenyu upstairs and pasted talismans on the main door and other places to prevent Leng Yan's men from barging in. Chenyu kept covering her face, probably afraid that Shisheng would see her ugly appearance. Chenyu was not called Chenyu. Her surname was Yin, and her name was Yenyu. She used to be classmates with Leng Yaotian and Shang Guanjiu. From Yan Mian's appearance, even if Yenyu wasn't a stunning beauty, she was definitely a beauty. Leng Yaotian and Shang Guanjiu both liked her. Shang Guanjiu was already a little perverted at that time. He often dominated Yan Mian, forcing her to go to places she didn't want to go and eat things she didn't want to eat. At that time, Yenyu liked Leng Yaotian. Their relationship wasn't stable because of Shang Guanjiu's interference. On the eve of graduation, Shang Guanjiu asked Yenyu out in the name of Leng Yaotian and forced her to sleep with him. Since then, Yenyu felt that she wasn't good enough for Leng Yaotian. Before graduation, she found someone who liked her and married him. The normal story would have ended there. However, Shang Guanjiu, that pervert, didn't plan to let Yenyu go. He used a few years to find Yenyu and asked her to return to his side. Otherwise, he would kill Yenyu's husband and Yan Mian. Yenyu didn't want to be with someone who raped her before. However, Yenyu couldn't watch Yan Mian and the man who liked her, and was willing to marry her when he knew that she had someone else in her heart die. Therefore, she asked Shang Guanjiu to give her time to consider. She took the opportunity to secretly contact Leng Yaotian. Probably because she didn't do it secretly enough, Shang Guanjiu found out and was furious. Leng Yaotian brought people and rushed over. Yenyu's husband had already died to protect Yan Mian. Leng Yaotian and Shang Guanjiu had a conflict and both sides fought. In the end, Shang Guanjiu crazily set a fire. Leng Yaotian risked his life to save Yenyu and Yan Mian. However, Yan Mian's head was severely injured. Coupled with the shock, she completely lost her memory. When Shang Guanjiu went crazy, even Leng Yaotian was a little scared. Therefore, Leng Yaotian sent Yan Mian away, and arranged a place for Yenyu to stay. Every once in a while, someone would send Yan Mian's photo to Yenyu. Therefore, Yenyu always knew how her daughter looked like. After a while, Yenyu also wanted to bring Yan Mian back. However, her health was not good at that time. She had a small illness every 3 days and a serious illness every 5 days. She didn't have the energy to take care of Yan Mian. Shang Guanjiu had been looking for her. She was also afraid that he would find her. Therefore, not bringing Yan Mian back was the best choice. Not long before Leng Yaotian died, she was entrusted to Zhao Quansheng. A few months ago, Leng Yan's people suddenly found her and brought her here with Yan Mian as an excuse. Mom has let you down. It's all Mom's fault. Yenyu sobbed. She had let this child down. Shisheng had a new understanding of Shang Guanjiu's craziness. No wonder this retard couldn't let go of her. Asterisk, come on, let's vote. 12/15/2016 Book Review Area Winning Prize Baby Feng Ling. 12/15/2016 Book Review Area Winning Prize Baby, Huang Sansheng. Chapter 684. Whose daughter am I? Shisheng was more concerned about this. According to the plot of novels, she was most likely that perverted Shang Guanjiu's daughter. With such a perverted father, Shisheng had the strength to reject her. Yin Yu sobbed. You have nothing to do with Shang Guanjiu. You are my child. She was indeed pregnant that year, but when she was hiding from Shang Guanjiu, an accident happened, and the child was miscarried. Yin Mian was only pregnant a year after she got married. It was good that she wasn't. If she was, she would have to kill her father. What grudge does Leng Yan have with you? Shang Guanjiu caught her because of her looks or because he knew that she was Yin Yu's daughter. What about Leng Yan? He had an inexplicable hatred for her, so he caught Yin Yu again. Yin Yu shrugged her shoulders. Leng Yan thinks that I caused his mother's death. Shisheng. Very good, another melodramatic drama. Was this plane focused on spilling dog blood? After Leng Yaotian saved Yin Yu, her mental state wasn't very good. So Leng Yaotian often took time to accompany her. Leng Yan's mother had heart disease. It was Chinese New Year, so his mother brought Leng Yan back to her mother's house. However, they met Leng Yaotian's enemies on the way, and their car was knocked over. Leng Yan's mother couldn't be rescued in time, so she passed away. Leng Yan somehow knew about Yin Yu, so he always hated Yin Yu. He thought that it was because of Yin Yu that his mother passed away. When Leng Yaotian was around, Leng Yan didn't dare to do anything. After Leng Yaotian died and arranged a way out for Yin Yu, Leng Yan couldn't find Yin Yu. Later, he probably found out that Yin Mian was Yin Yu's daughter, so he transferred his hatred to Yin Mian. Shisheng didn't know what to say at all. Was Leng Yan's mother innocent? Of course she was. But was Yin Yu wrong? From a bystander's point of view, Yin Yu might be wrong, but she shouldn't be alive. Because of her, she brought disaster to another man who loved her deeply, and she brought an unfortunate childhood to her child. Because of her, she indirectly caused another woman's death. Although it was a matter of probability, she did play a part in it. This was undeniable. From Yin Yu's point of view, Yin Yu was not wrong. If she wanted to live, she needed someone to protect her. Leng Yaotian was the only one who could go against Shang Guanjiu. There was nothing wrong with choosing him. If one wanted to live, it was impossible not to hurt others. Your way of survival is to squeeze out other people's way of survival. Everyone's hands might be stained with blood. This was the rule of this society. If you wanted to rise to the top, someone had to be eliminated. If you had a soft heart, then you would be the one who would be eliminated, and the one who would lose your life would also be you. Back then, if Leng Yaotian had been more decisive and protected her well, none of these things would have happened. Unfortunately, there were no ifs. Therefore, if anyone was to blame for this matter, it had to be traced back to the source. It was all Leng Yaotian's fault. He didn't protect the woman he loved. Am I very useless? Yin Yu covered her face with her fingers. She was filled with regret and pain. For so many years, she had lived in torment, but she did not want to die. She wanted to see her daughter with her own eyes. There are many useless people. You're just one of them. There's nothing to be sad about. Shisheng's tone was still casual. Regret and sadness can't solve anything. These emotions will only bring you endless trouble and make you weaker. You'll be trapped in the dark abyss and become a puppet that others can manipulate. Mian. Yin Yu was slightly stunned. She was also a person who had studied before, so she knew what Shisheng meant. But how old was she? How could she have such feelings? Yin Yu suddenly recalled that from just now until now, she hadn't shown any of the expressions that a family member should have when meeting. She had been rational and calm from the beginning. It was as if she was listening to a story that had nothing to do with her. She had not been by her side for so many years. She must have suffered a lot, right? Yin Yu thought about it. She immediately ignored the question above, and felt sorry for her daughter's suffering. Shisheng looked at Yin Yu and supported his chin. Then one last question. Why did Leng Yaotian want to marry me as his mistress? Since Leng Yaotian liked Yin Yu, why did he want to marry Yin Mian? Was this what they meant by if I can't have you, I can have your daughter? And Leng Yaotian had so many women. What kind of true love was this? If Feng Xi dared to do this, she would castrate him. Yin Yu was silent for a moment. He did it to protect you. He knew that he didn't have much time left. During that time, Shang Guanjiu was very strict. That was why he brought you back to the mansion. and let Leng Yan know that you had a bargaining chip. As long as you didn't say anything, Leng Yan wouldn't do anything to you. Yin Yu paused and smiled bitterly. But he didn't know that Leng Yan already knew about my existence and that you're my daughter. So, what exactly does Leng Yan want? Shisheng asked. Leng Yaotian wouldn't have dared to lie to Leng Yan. Yin Yu suddenly raised her head and looked at Shisheng. She didn't hide the ugly scar on her face. In her cloudy eyes, Shisheng's figure was vaguely reflected. Mian Mian, I only hope that you can live peacefully. I don't want you to be involved in these things. Shisheng's lips curled up coldly. He pulled open the curtains, and there were many shadows outside. Do you think we still have a way out now? Why do you think I'm here? Yin Yu was too excited to see Shisheng. She forgot about her current situation. When she saw the scene outside, she immediately rushed over and closed the curtains. She pressed Shisheng down and squatted down. Her heart was beating so fast that it felt like it was going to jump out of her chest. But it was very quiet outside. It was so quiet that she couldn't hear anything. Only her slightly heavy breathing could be heard. Yin Yu's mind was full of doubts. She carefully lifted the curtains and realized that those people were just standing outside. They didn't have any intention to attack. She grabbed Shisheng's hand with trembling hands. Mian Mian. After a while, she calmed down. She took off the bracelet on her wrist and put it on Shisheng carefully. Wear it. Someone will come and take you away. Yin Yu wasn't as weak as she looked. She was just used to pretending to be weak. Mian Mian, mommy loves you. These things should come to an end. She was the one who provoked Shang Guanjiu. She had already suffered for a lifetime because of him. She couldn't let her daughter be tortured by him like this. Yin Yu had already thought of what to do next. However, a disdainful voice suddenly came from beside her. Why are you making it sound like you're going to die? Shisheng broke free from her and stood up. Those people outside can't come in. Don't think of covering for me and letting me escape. Yin Yu looked at her daughter in shock. She was completely different from the girl she saw in the photo. She was full of arrogance and confidence. She was frivolous and didn't care about anything. She was calm and rational. Was this her daughter? ## today's Shalot vote #. It's Friday, vote, vote, vote. I'll depend on you guys to get me on the list. Cherub come. Chapter 685. Only then did Yin Yu realize that Shisheng's words were literal. No one could come in from the outside. It was as if the villa was covered by a cover. Bullets couldn't enter, and people couldn't enter either. Shisheng sat at the side and summarized the messy plot. Leng Yaotian and Shang Guanjiu both liked Yin Yu, but Yin Yu liked Leng Yaotian. Hence, Shang Guanjiu was furious. After that, Shang Guanjiu knew that Leng Yaotian had hidden Yin Yu. He could not find her, but he did not give up. Not long before Leng Yaotian died, he might have found Yin Yu, or Yin Mian. Hence, Leng Yaotian brought Yin Mian back to the mansion, and used a secret to prevent Leng Yan from doing anything to Yin Mian. Have you completed the side mission? Shisheng asked the system in his heart. The redemption of love should be referring to Yin Yu. Host, you are cheating. No. Shisheng frowned. It was not completed yet. Did he have to kill Shang Guanjiu? Just thinking about that pervert made Shisheng grit her teeth in anger. He was not afraid of perverts, but he was afraid of perverts with culture. Mian Mian, what's going on? Yin Yu stood by the window and observed for a long time before asking Shisheng carefully. She felt that the daughter in front of her was different from the daughter she saw in the photos. Such a mysterious ability. Was she really her daughter? It's just a defensive talisman, Shisheng said without looking up. You can move around freely in the mansion. Just don't go out. Defensive talisman? What was that? Was it used by Taoists? Yin Yu knew that some Taoists had real abilities. However, she felt that it was a little weird when it was related to her daughter. Mian Yu. Shisheng looked up at her with a cold face. Yin Yu stopped in her tracks and looked at Shisheng in a daze. Her face was full of scars. Under the dim light, it looked a little scary. Shisheng cursed in a low voice. He stood up and rummaged through the cabinets nearby. In the end, he took out a medical kit from the space and pretended to take it out from the cabinet. He pulled Yanyu to sit down rudely and treated the wounds on her face without any gentleness. In the end, he wrapped Yanyu with gauze until she looked like a mummy. Yanyu had mixed feelings. There were two voices in her head that were arguing nonstop. A voice said, "She's your daughter. Look, she looks so much like you when you were young. If she's not your daughter, who else could she be?" Another voice said that she was not her daughter. She did not overlap with the little girl in her memory at all. Yanyu tried her best to think, but she had no idea what she was thinking. It was not until Shisheng finished applying the medicine for her and saw him toss the things into the medicine box that she suddenly sobered up. How could she look at her with her old memories? Other children had their parents by their side, but what about her? Mian Mian, you must have suffered a lot when mommy wasn't by your side, right? Yanyu held on to Shisheng's hand and started crying again. Shisheng endured it and did not retract his hand. He waited for her to vent her feelings before saying, "Rest, I'm fine." When Yanyu was locked up by Leng Yan, her nerves were in a state of high tension. She was already exhausted. Perhaps it was because of Shisheng. Yanyu fell asleep as soon as she lay on the bed. Yanyu held on to Shisheng's hand as she slept. It was as if she was afraid that Shisheng would disappear the moment she opened her eyes. The daughter that she had just found was just a dream. Shisheng stared at Yanyu's face that was covered in bandages. His gaze was a little dazed. She just sat by the bed until dawn. The morning sun shone through the thick curtains and shone in, making the dark room bright and warm. Shisheng rubbed his sore arm and took out his phone to call Su Shanshan. Leng Yan's engagement ceremony was just around the corner. He did not have much time to waste with Shisheng. He invited a Taoist priest from somewhere. The Taoist priest danced and sang outside, but in the end, he vomited blood after being repelled by the defense talisman. He was so scared that he ran away. Leng Yan tried all kinds of methods, but he could not get in. If it was allowed, Leng Yan would probably use a cannon to blast him. Leng Yan only gave up on competing with Shisheng on the eve of the wedding. Just like the plot, Ingsu ran away the night before the wedding. Everyone in the mansion went out to look for Ingsu. Shisheng left with Yanyu, and no one stopped them. Yanyu was in a daze for the past few days. Shisheng did not dare to bring her home, so he could only send her to the hospital. The checkup at the hospital was tedious and lengthy. Shisheng sat outside and played with his phone out of boredom. Just as she was playing with her phone, the light in front of her suddenly dimmed. Coincidentally, the phone interface changed and the screen turned black. From the screen, Shisheng saw a handsome face. She raised her head slightly, and her heart was beating fast. The scenery around her seemed to be stretched infinitely. Shisheng's eyebrows curved, and he softly said the person's name, Shifei. Shifei was not surprised that Shisheng could call his name. He put down the coat in his hand and sat next to her. "Nice to meet you, Miss Yan." "Kind of." It was indeed the first time they had officially met. "Miss Yan, I have something to talk to you about. Do you have time?" Shifei felt that Shisheng's eyes were too hot, and he leaned back a little unnaturally. "No, my mother is checking. You have to wait." Shisheng looked at the still closed door and said with a smile, "Mr. Shi, you don't mind, do you?" Shifei looked at his watch, frowned, got up, and picked up his coat. "See you in an hour at the coffee shop outside the hospital." Shisheng pouted. "You can go." "If you leave, I won't go." "Shifei." He turned around and stared at Shisheng. "Don't you want to know what I want to talk to you about?" Shisheng looked up and smiled faintly. "It doesn't matter what you want to talk to me about. You just need to know that I want to be in a relationship with you." Shifei's heart suddenly beat faster. From the first time he saw her, he felt a special sense of familiarity, as if they had been together intimately before. But he knew that this was really the first time they had met. "Mr. Shi, would you like to consider having another girlfriend?" "Miss Yan, this is the first time we've met." Shifei reminded her. Who wants to be someone's girlfriend the first time they meet? Were all girls nowadays so unreserved? Love at first sight. Shisheng blinked. Shifei. He definitely didn't want to admit that he almost said yes just now. He raised his hand to look at the time again and said carefully, "I have something to deal with. I'll pick you up in half an hour. Can Miss Yan accept this?" Shisheng shrugged. neither refusing nor agreeing. Asterisk little fairy. Very good, we finally meet, ha ha ha. Cherub. If we don't meet, we're going to send razor blades. Little fairy. What razor blades? Please send tickets, the kind with all kinds of flavors. I don't refuse. Cherub. I refuse this advertisement. Chapter 686. Yenyu needed to be hospitalized after the examination. The wound on her face was really difficult to deal with. Shisheng went through the hospitalization procedures for her, and Yenyu lay weakly on the hospital bed. Mian Mian, yes? Yenyu reached out and grabbed Shisheng's hand. She just held it without saying anything. Knock knock. The door of the ward was knocked a few times. Shisheng turned his head and saw Shifei's 360-degree handsome face through the glass. I'm going out for a while. Shisheng turned back and said to Yenyu, I'll be back soon. Mian Mian, where are you going? Yenyu suddenly panicked. To see your future son-in-law. Shisheng comforted her and took out an amulet from the space and put it on her. Son-in-law. Yenyu's eyes lit up. Mian Mian has someone she likes. That's great. Shisheng smiled and got up to leave the ward. Shifei took a few people with him. After Shisheng came out, they stood directly outside the ward. To ensure Auntie's safety, Shifei was afraid that Shisheng would misunderstand and explained. Shisheng smiled maliciously. We haven't even been together, and Mr. Shi is already thinking for me? Shifei. He turned sideways and motioned for Shisheng to leave first. Shisheng and Shifei left the hospital and went straight to the car parked by the roadside. The driver in the car sensibly got out of the car. What do you want to talk to me about? Shifei suddenly came to her for business. It was impossible that he was here to confess. Although she really hoped that he was here to confess. My father and Mr. Lung have an agreement. Shifei landed on Shisheng's wrist. When this locator is activated, the Shi family must ensure the safety of the person holding the locator. But at the same time, you have to give this locator to me. Locator? Shisheng looked down at his wrist. Yenyu gave her the bracelet. No wonder she said that someone would come looking for her. Shisheng. But how did this have anything to do with the Shi family? What kind of messed up relationship was this? Shisheng took off the locator and handed it to Shifei. Shifei seemed a little surprised and didn't take it for a long time. What? Didn't you want this? Shisheng looked at him strangely. You're not going to ask anything else? She didn't look like someone who was easy to talk to. Why would she give it to him just like that? Because you wanted it, so I gave it to you. Shisheng placed the bracelet in his hand and slid his fingertips across the back of his hand. Even if you want me, I can give it to you. The bracelet still had her warmth. Shifei's heart was full of complicated emotions. He squeezed the bracelet tightly. I will be responsible for Miss Yan's safety. Shisheng raised his eyebrows at Shifei. Responsible for her for the rest of her life. Why did this sound so weird? The Shi family will be responsible for Miss Yan's safety for the rest of her life. But I want you to be responsible for me for the rest of my life. Miss Yan, I have a fiancé. Shisheng. You must be joking. How could my Feng Xiai have a fiancé? Shifei nodded at Shisheng and got out of the car. Shisheng sat in the car in a daze for a long time. Wasn't she going to be a mistress? No. I don't want it. Let's die together. Host, don't be so extreme. He lied to you. Really? According to the data, Shifei did not have a fiancé. It did not dare to add a fiancé setting for him. If the host made a fuss, it would not be able to survive. Shisheng pushed the door open and got out. Shifei was already gone. Shisheng. Why did you run so fast? I'm not going to eat you. Ah, I didn't ask for his contact information. Shisheng turned his head and saw the driver about to get into the car. She immediately rushed over. The driver was startled. Miss Yan, what are you doing? He was just a driver. Give me your President Shi's contact information. Shisheng reached out to the driver aggressively as if he was going to beat him up the next second. Miss Yan, I don't have President Shi's contact information. Bullshit. You're just a driver. How could you not have his boss's contact information? Who are you trying to fool? Miss Yen, please be civilized. Even if you're bullshit, I really don't have it. Usually President Xi doesn't take this car. The driver wanted to cry but had no tears. Even if he did, it was his subordinates who contacted him. How could he have President Xi's contact information? Why are you so useless? Shisheng glanced at the driver with disdain. Driver? Is he blaming me for being useless? Shifei sat in a car not far away and watched the figure talking to the driver in the distance. He did not withdraw his gaze until she turned and entered the hospital. Boss, she gave it to you so easily? This was not scientific. From the information they collected, this woman did not seem to be a person who was easy to talk to. Yes. Shifei handed the thing to the person next to him. The person took it with some joy. As long as the last part of the power is taken back, those people will have to depend on you for their lives. I don't know what the old man is thinking. He just gave such an important thing to someone else. Someone in the front complained. If it weren't for these twists and turns, we would have finished the integration long ago. Why did we have to come all the way back to China? Leng Yaotian saved him. Shifei said lightly. The two looked at each other and tactfully did not ask more. Boss, are we going back immediately? You take the thing back. Shifei lowered his head. You two are fully responsible for everything. The two were stunned. Boss. As long as they took the thing back, they could unify the foreign underground forces and become the real king of the underground kingdom. They had been preparing for so long for this last moment. How could their boss drop the ball at this time? When Shisheng returned to the ward, those people were still standing outside the door. Shisheng pushed the door open and went in, then retreated a moment later. Buddy, the bodyguard standing upright. Who are you calling buddy? Hey. Shisheng waved his hand in front of one of them. Let me ask you something. What if I call him? The bodyguard immediately bowed and said, Miss Yen, please ask. Except for President Xi, we will tell you everything we know. Shisheng. I want to ask Shifei. Damn you. Is Shifei a panda? You guys have so many layers of security here, as if you're guarding against thieves. I'm so angry. Shisheng's eyes turned and he quickly asked, What's your name? Gaozheng. How old are you? 32. Are you married? No. Do you have someone you like? No. What's Shifei's phone number? Shisheng stared at the bodyguard. Why didn't you say anything? How did you get it so quickly? The bodyguard who had been trained said seriously, Miss Yen, except for President Xi, you can ask anything else. But I just want to ask him. Why would she ask anything else? The bodyguard bowed slightly. I'm sorry, Miss Yen, but we can't disclose President Xi's information. Shisheng. Asterisk hahaha. Please vote. Chapter 687. After Shisheng settled Yanyu down, he started another round of cracking down on prostitution and illegal activities. This time, it was the Green Dragon clan that suffered. Leng Yan was looking for Ing Su everywhere. He was caught off guard the first 2 times. The first time was a batch of firearms. They didn't plan to make a deal. After all, the previous incident was still ongoing. If they made a move now, it would undoubtedly be asking for trouble. However, the people in the Green Dragon clan were busy looking for Ing Su. Their subordinates wanted to take the opportunity to make a deal. In the end, they were caught by the police. The second time was a batch of smuggled goods. This batch of goods was ordered before and couldn't be cancelled. Their people were already very careful, but in the end they still failed. When Leng Yan came to his senses, he immediately stopped all activities in the Green Dragon clan. Those that should be closed were closed. Compared to the Black Tiger clan, the Green Dragon clan had the male lead's protection, so they were lucky. The police wouldn't do anything without evidence. Therefore, when the Green Dragon clan didn't do anything, Shisheng couldn't do anything to them. Miss Yen, there's a package for you. Shisheng looked at the bodyguards. Since that day, these people stayed by Shisheng's side, saying that they were there to ensure her safety. Shisheng took the package and saw the flamboyant words on it. The corner of his mouth twitched. Shang Guanjiu, that pervert, appeared again. Shisheng opened the package. There was nothing strange inside, just a mobile phone. He swiped the screen and stopped at the message editing interface. There was a message that had been sent. Baby, long time no see. I miss you. The bodyguard silently glanced at the screen, then quickly looked away. When Shisheng threw the phone away and went into the house, the bodyguard immediately took out the phone and reported to his superior. I saw someone sending a flirtatious message to Miss Yan. Should I tell President Xi? Click. The bodyguard immediately put the phone back into his pocket. He saw Shisheng come out of the room with a sword in his hand. It was the sword that they had seen in the video. The message just now was a flirtatious message, so why did Miss Yan have a sword? Su Shanshan. Hey. Su Shanshan popped her head out of the room. Sister? Shisheng ordered her. Don't go out. Su Shanshan nodded obediently. Okay, do you want to go out? When are you coming back? I recently learned a new dish, and I want to cook it for my sister. I'll be back soon. Then I'll wait for my sister to come back for dinner. Yes. Shisheng walked out with his sword in hand. The bodyguard. No, Miss Yan, if you go out like this, you will be treated as a murderer. Shisheng had just left when he received a call from Yenyu's caregiver, saying that Yenyu was missing. When did it disappear? He was still there when I went out to get food, but he was gone when I came back. The nurse was about to cry. However, Shisheng remained calm. Are there any signs of damage to the room? No, the doors are all fine. The nurse's side was a little noisy, and her voice was intermittent. The people at the hospital didn't see her either. I've asked everywhere. Miss Yan, do you want to call the police? Look around the hospital. The police station won't accept cases within 24 hours. Yes. I'll look for it again. Shisheng hung up the phone with a gloomy face. Yenyu followed him out of her own accord. The amulet she gave her could protect her as long as she didn't do it willingly. No matter how powerful she was, she couldn't stop her from doing it willingly. Looking for trouble, annoying. Miss Yan. The bodyguard chased after her. I just received news that someone knocked out our people and took Miss Yan away. Got it. Shisheng turned back to the door of the room, checked it carefully, and told Su Shanshan not to open the door no matter who it was. Only then did he leave. She drove out of the neighborhood, and the bodyguard followed from behind. When they were out of the neighborhood, the bodyguard's car suddenly stopped, and he got out and ran to another car. The car window slowly rolled down, and Shifei's figure appeared in the bodyguard's line of sight. President Xi, Miss Yan looks a little strange. Yes. Shifei nodded slightly. Follow her. Several cars quietly followed behind Shisheng's car. She first circled around the city, and then went straight to the suburbs. The suburbs were being developed, and there were construction sites everywhere. Shisheng's car stopped in front of a construction site that was not under construction. She leaned over and looked at the outline of the building, opened the door and got out. Shisheng was about to go in when she saw a few cars approaching from behind. Of course, she knew the bodyguard's car, but there were two cars behind that she had never seen before. The car doors opened one by one, and Shifei came out. He quickly walked to Shisheng. What are you doing here? Shisheng frowned slightly. Shifei said, I said I would guarantee your safety, and your family is among them. He was near her neighborhood before. When he heard the bodyguard say that someone had sent her an ambiguous message, he immediately asked someone to drive to the gate of her neighborhood. Shifei didn't believe in love at first sight, past life, or present life. But he couldn't forget her figure. She was like an all-pervasive virus, nibbling away at his body and mind inch by inch. If someone had told him before he returned to China that he might care so much about a woman he had only met once, he would have dragged that person out to feed the sharks. Shisheng looked at the people behind him. Wait for me here. What if that lunatic Shang Guanjiu hurt him when he went crazy? Shifei changed the subject. Do you know who did it? I guessed. My people will be here soon, wait a little longer. Ding! There was a text message on the phone sent by Shang Guanjiu. It was a multimedia message. Yenyu stood on the edge, holding on to the frame next to her. The bandage on her face had been removed, and some new flesh had grown out. forming a sharp contrast with the old scars. There was a sentence below the picture. Baby, come up alone. Shisheng didn't want Shifei to take the risk, so he asked him to wait outside. However, Shifei walked into the construction site without any explanation. Shisheng, you've grown a temper. The people behind Shifei naturally had to follow, so a large group of people climbed up the unfinished building. Halfway up, Shisheng found that something was wrong with Shifei. He grabbed the handrail next to him and didn't dare to look down. After a while, he took a step forward. Are you okay? Shisheng turned back. I told you not to come up. President Shi, why don't we go up? The bodyguard behind suggested. Shifei didn't say anything and continued to walk up while holding on to the handrail. Hold on to me. Shisheng reached out to Shifei. Shifei hesitated for a moment and reached out to hold her hand. Shisheng took a few steps back and held his waist with one hand, protecting him as he walked up. So why did you follow me? Shifei's body stiffened. Who the hell knows why? He thought so at that time, so he did it. Asterisk, please vote. Chapter 688. The person next to him was petite and pitiful, but she gave him a sense of security that he had never felt before. Don't look down, idiot. Shisheng reached out and held his face, making him look up. If we fall down, we'll die together. Why, do you want to die with me? The bodyguards. Miss Yen, you dare to call President Shi an idiot. And you shouldn't use the word die with love like that, Miss Yen. However, Shifei didn't say anything, as if he didn't hear Shisheng scolding him. He followed Shisheng's steps and stepped up. Be careful. Some of these passages were very short. With Shifei's height, he had to bend over. Shisheng helped him protect his head. We're almost there, hold on. The group of bodyguards behind him were in a mess. Hey Miss Yen, you're not right. Please remember that you're a girl. Can you be a little more delicate? President Shi, what's with your expression of acceptance? Where's your domineering temperament? Take it out. At the last floor, Shifei exhaled heavily. Shisheng had already seen Shang Guanjiu, but he didn't see Yanyu. There were still people around Shang Guanjiu. As soon as they came up, these people surrounded them and stared at the bodyguards. Shang Guanjiu walked over with a smile on his face. Baby, you're naughty. We agreed that only you can come up. It's none of your business. Shisheng blurted out. Yen, where's my mother? Baby, don't worry. Let's deal with the unimportant people first. Shang Guanjiu's eyes fell on Shifei. His expression was a little playful. Mr. Shi, we meet again. Last time in his territory he had to hold it in, but this time Shifei had already adjusted his state. Shang Guanjiu, Yin Mian is under the protection of the Shi family. You still have a chance to escape. Shang Guanjiu's expression was distorted for a moment. Then he smiled and praised Shisheng. His eyes were filled with a murderous aura. Baby, you're amazing. You even hooked up with the leader of Mo clan. Shisheng looked at Shifei with some surprise. He was the leader of Mo clan? Ma's sect was not an underground power within the country. It was a very famous underground power overseas. In the beginning, this power was not called Ma's sect. It was only after a Chinese person became the leader that they changed their name to Ma's sect. After a brief moment of surprise, Shisheng looked at Shang Guanjiu calmly. That only proves that you're not as good as him. Baby. Shang Guanjiu raised his voice. Do you want to see your mother die like this? You can try, Shisheng said indifferently. Very good. Shang Guanjiu nodded, his tone ferocious. If that's the case, then I'll let him die in front of you today. Let's see how you can seduce him then. Shisheng was speechless. What's wrong with seducing my man? Could it be that she had to watch him be in love with someone else? Shisheng never felt that seducing her man was wrong. He was precious because he was Feng Ci. If he wasn't Feng Ci, why would she seduce him? Shifei took a step forward and blocked Shisheng's figure. Shang Guanjiu, you think too highly of yourself. Shifei, don't forget, this is China, not your Ma's sect's territory. Shang Guanjiu made a gesture. The people surrounding them immediately took out their guns and fired without hesitation. What came out were not bullets, but mist. The mist floated down from the air, unavoidable. and a strange smell floated in the air. Shisheng reacted the fastest. He reached out and pulled Shifei to the side. With a wave of his iron sword, the falling mist was immediately parted and fell to the side. She slashed the people blocking the way, and pulled Shifei to a clean place on the side. The people behind continued to shoot, and the mist continued to float down from the air. "Baby, don't struggle. I specially designed this for you." Shang Guanjiu's voice came from behind, with a sense of pride and confidence. King retard. Shisheng cursed, turned around and started to slash. Shifei's skills were not bad, but compared to Shisheng's record of taking down a few people with a swing of his sword, he was a little inferior. Kacha! The wooden planks under his feet suddenly broke, revealing the sky below. A wooden plank broke, and the ones next to it also broke. The place where Shifei could stand was very narrow, and the seam below made him a little dizzy. Shisheng jumped to his side in a few steps, reached out to support him, and took him to the concrete floor that had been paved. Stepping on solid ground, Shifei immediately recovered. "I told you not to come, but I still have to protect you." Shisheng complained. "My protection fee is very expensive." If it were someone else, they would definitely fly into a rage out of humiliation, or be too ashamed to show their face. But she said it to him. Shifei only felt a little funny. She looked cute when she complained. Shifei felt that his focus was not right. "They're coming." Shifei immediately changed the topic and reminded Shisheng. Shisheng waved his iron sword, and the sword aura brought up the paving planks and hit the people rushing over. Someone stepped on air and fell directly from above. Shisheng finished dealing with these small fries, but did not find Shang Guanjiu when he turned around. "Over there." Shifei pointed in a direction, and Shang Guanjiu's figure was quickly climbing up the half-built high ground. Shisheng chased after him for a few steps, and the blocked line of sight widened. Yanyu was hanging above, and her feet could only step on the ground. Shang Guanjiu had already climbed up, and stood at the place where the rope was tied. Shisheng and Shifei chased after him. "Mian Mian!" Yanyu screamed and kept shaking her head. What was she doing here? Why did she come? Shang Guanjiu smiled a little ferociously. "Baby, I just need to cut her gently, and she will fall. Do you want to watch her die like this?" "Shang Guanjiu, if you have anything to do with me, don't involve Mian Mian in our grievances." Yanyu's voice was a little broken, and it sounded sharp and harsh. Shang Guanjiu pulled Yanyu over and pinched her chin. "Why didn't you like me back then? Why, now all of this is what you asked for. I will let your daughter replace you, ha. Baby, if you don't want her to die, kill Shifei. Take medicine if you're sick." Shisheng rolled his eyes. She wanted to worship him, and he wanted her to kill him? This guy was seriously sick. "Baby, kill Shifei, or I will push her down." Shang Guanjiu's face became more and more ferocious. "Mian Mian, don't worry about me, go." "Shut up." Shisheng smiled. "I will give you a ride." Before Shang Guanjiu understood what Shisheng meant, a wooden board suddenly flew towards him and Yanyu. Because he was standing in front, the wooden board hit him, and his body flew backward. Shang Guanjiu grabbed Yanyu, and the wooden board holding Yanyu could not support the weight of both of them. With a crack, both of them fell down at the same time. Shisheng quickly stepped on the iron sword and rushed out. She wanted to hold Yanyu, but Yanyu shook her head and hugged the struggling Shang Guanjiu, and fell down quickly. Yanyu smiled. Her daughter was very powerful, and she did not need to worry. "Sorry, Mian Mian. Forgive me for my incompetence and weakness." Just as they were about to land, Shang Guanjiu suddenly hugged Yanyu and turned over with all his strength, letting Yanyu lie on top of him. Come on, votes. Important things must be said 3 times. Chapter 689. Why didn't he save her? Shisheng thought for a while. Maybe it was because he knew that even if he saved her, she wouldn't live long. It was Yan Mian who kept Yanyu alive. When she knew that she was doing well, she would choose death. She would be destroyed together with the source of countless tragedies. Shisheng returned to the top. Shifei held the railing on the edge, his long eyelashes covering the emotions in his eyes. Anyone who saw a person flying on a sword in the modern world would be shocked. The two stood on the top, the biting cold wind blowing past their faces. Shisheng gathered his clothes. Well, let's go down first? Shifei's hand holding the railing tightened. He slowly took a step back. His body suddenly staggered and fell into the void. Shisheng's eyes widened. He rushed over in a few steps, grabbed his arm, and pulled him back. What are you doing? Even if he was scared, he didn't have to jump down. My legs are weak. Shifei's face was a little pale. Shisheng. So he stood still just now because he was afraid of heights? Damn it. I was worried for nothing. Shifei was born with a fear of heights. He couldn't go to particularly high places since he was young. Once he went up, he couldn't walk. This was the so-called, when God opened a window, he would definitely close a door. Shisheng took him down until he stepped on solid ground. Shifei relaxed. Why did he go up like a retard before? He glanced at Shisheng silently. I'd better stay away from this woman in the future. Are you feeling better? Shisheng asked with concern. Do you want to go to the hospital? Shifei closed his eyes and shook his head slightly. Shisheng made sure that he was okay before he turned to look at the bodies of Shang Guanjiu and Yanyu. The two fell on a standing steel bar and were pierced through. They definitely wouldn't survive like this. After Shisheng checked, he went to find Shifei, but he disappeared again. What the hell? Did she look like a scourge? How could he avoid her like this? Good job, Feng Xi. He was really a troublemaker. Shisheng cleaned up Yanyu's body and left the construction site. As for the others, Shifei's people would clean them up. Shisheng held a simple funeral for Yanyu. After the funeral, Shisheng finally had time to flirt with Shifei. With the information revealed by Shang Guanjiu, it was much easier for her to investigate. The head of the Mo clan, Shifei. Bang bang bang. Yin Mian, come out. Shisheng had no choice but to put down his phone and wave at Su Shanshan, who popped her head out, signaling her to go back to her room. Su Shanshan stuck out her tongue and retracted her head. Shisheng opened the door. Son, why are you looking for your mother? Yin Mian, did you do those things? The anger in Lung Yan's eyes was almost overflowing. What's the matter? Shisheng was confused. She hadn't done anything recently. Don't accuse me, okay? Lung Yan roared. Stop pretending, Yin Mian. Are you so cruel that you'll only be satisfied when the Green Dragon clan is destroyed? No, son, be reasonable. You didn't say anything. How would I know if I did it? After all, she had done a lot of things. Lung Yan was probably going crazy. Ever since she escaped from death, his life had not been easy. Robbing the Green Dragon clan's business and maliciously acquiring shares. You didn't do these things? Shisheng blinked. She hadn't done these two things recently. Son, thank you for thinking so highly of me, but I really didn't do these things. Stepmother Sheng spread her hands. But I was the one who did it when you were chased by the police. Lung Yan's eyes widened. A raging fire was burning in his eyes. He had been investigating that incident and thought there was a mole. In the end, it was her. You have people in the Green Dragon clan? Lung Yan couldn't think of anything else. Did that old man give you those things? You've contacted them, haven't you? No, I've given them away. That thing should be able to mobilize some forces. And it was from abroad. Lung Yan had been looking for it, so it would be of great help. It would be great to give it to his wife. Give it away. Lung Yan's handsome face was red with anger. He gritted his teeth and asked, Who did you give it to? Why do you care who I gave it to? Shisheng snorted. Do you want to take it back? Comparing the Green Dragon clan to the Black clan, there was no comparison at all. The Black clan was an ancient force with a long history. Who would dare to provoke them? The Green Dragon clan only rose to prominence when the country was in trouble. It didn't even have 100 years of history. Yin Mian, just you wait. Shisheng's eyes were full of smiles. Just you wait. She slammed the door shut, shutting Lung Yan's angry face outside. Sister. Su Shanshan leaned against the door and whispered, That man is so fierce. Then you have to be fiercer than him. Su Shanshan's mouth was wide open. Ha! The last way to deal with the bad guys is violence. Shisheng began to educate Su Shanshan. When you're strong enough to be unbeatable, no one will dare to provoke you. Everyone will have to listen to you. You're the master. Su Shanshan nodded, not fully understanding. If you keep teaching like this, something will happen sooner or later. After dinner, Su Shanshan came out after washing the dishes. She saw Shisheng sitting on the balcony in a daze with his phone in his hand. She curiously went over. Sister, what are you doing? Shisheng threw his phone away and held his face sadly. My wife is ignoring me. Wife? Su Shanshan scratched her head. Shouldn't sister be looking for a boyfriend? Why is it a wife? Su Shanshan suddenly panicked. Sister, you like girls? Shisheng looked at Su Shanshan strangely. What? Su Shanshan covered her mouth. Speak human. Su Shanshan's eyes widened. She let go of her hand and quickly said, Sister, you like girls? After that, she covered her mouth and pressed her body against the glass door behind her. She was afraid that Shisheng would beat her up. Shisheng. When did she show that she liked girls? Shisheng recalled their conversation just now and the corner of his mouth twitched. She took the blame. I like men. Shisheng turned his head. Su Shanshan blinked her big watery eyes and asked doubtfully. Then, why did sister say wife? I like. Su Shanshan. Well, no matter how many reasons there were, they couldn't beat the words I like. The person sister likes must be very powerful. Su Shanshan flattered as usual. Only someone like that is worthy of sister. Shisheng sneered and thought of Shifei's stupid look that day. How was he powerful? He was a retard. Sister, what are you laughing at? Did she say something wrong? I'm laughing at my wife for being a retard. Shisheng continued to hold his face and pretend to be sad. He changed the topic. Have you finished your homework? I'm done. Su Shanshan nodded obediently. She was silent for a while and asked carefully, Sister, can I go back to Huangshan village for the new year? ## begging for tofu-flavored votes today # take advantage of tofu, vote. Come on. Fake it. Have a good weekend. Chapter 690. With the arrival of the Spring Festival, there was a festive atmosphere everywhere. People from all over the country were buying New Year's goods. At this time, all the shops were the most popular. Shisheng held Su Shanshan's hand as they walked in the crowded shopping mall. Sister, we don't have to come here to buy. These things are so expensive. Su Shanshan gently pulled on Shisheng's sleeve. Yeah, you can do whatever you want with money. Shisheng replied softly. It's convenient to buy here, it's free. Su Shanshan. Didn't they already drive? And behind them? Su Shanshan turned her head and looked at the bodyguards not far away. Aren't these people the labor force? Su Shanshan definitely couldn't persuade Shisheng, so she could only buy in the mall. She tried her best to pick something practical. After all, to the people in the countryside, a quilt was more practical than a decoration worth millions. Shisheng didn't interfere at all. After Su Shanshan made her choice, she was only responsible for paying the bill. Occasionally, Su Shanshan would ask her if she liked it, and she would only reply with a sentence or two. Sister? Su Shanshan stood a little ahead, and called out to Shisheng who was standing in front of a shop without any movement. Shisheng waved at her. Su Shanshan had no choice but to return. It was a very unique shop with a dark signboard. In this bright shopping mall, it looked particularly out of place. Shisheng held Su Shanshan's hand as they entered the shop. The interior was decorated in the same style as the outside. It was black, and there were only dim lights on the walls, presenting the small shop to the customers. There were a few shelves in the shop, on which there were some carved items and some strange things. We're not open today. A lazy voice came from behind the counter. In this dark space, it seemed even more eerie. Su Shanshan was so scared that she grabbed Shisheng's hand tightly. What is this place? Why is there such a strange shop in a shopping mall? Shisheng ignored the voice and walked around the shop, looking at the sculptures on the shelves. These sculptures were obviously made by the same person, and each one was lifelike. Shisheng walked to the counter. Help me carve something. I said, we're not open today. The other party waved lazily. Come back another day. Click. The other party pulled the book off her face and stared at Shisheng angrily. You, his gaze fell on the counter, and stared at the things on the counter for a few seconds. He suddenly stood up and pulled the things on the counter to his side. What do you want to carve? Take this as your reward. Su Shanshan. Didn't you say you were closed? Shisheng came out of the shop and continued shopping with Su Shanshan. After that, they went for dinner. Shan 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 shan. As previously, Shisheng had only brought Su Shanshan to eat Chinese food, and had never brought her to eat Western food. Hence, Su Shanshan was not used to using knives and forks. She was even more clumsy when cutting the beef. It smells so good. I really want to eat it. But she can't. Just as Su Shanshan was struggling, a plate of cut steak appeared in front of her, and her plate was taken away. Go home after eating, we have to wake up early tomorrow. Shisheng did not even lift her head as she continued to cut the beef that was slightly deformed by Su Shanshan, and calmly stuffed it into her mouth. Okay. Su Shanshan forked a small piece of beef into her mouth, and chewed with her eyes closed. It's delicious. I want to learn. I want to make it for my sister. The bodyguards in the distance. Chairman Shi, you don't want a wife like this, what a waste. She can fight, she can resist, and she knows how to love people. Why can't they meet such a good wife? Su Shanshan was satisfied with her meal. She rubbed her belly and walked out of the restaurant with Shisheng. When she passed by the bodyguards, she stuck her tongue out mischievously. The bodyguards? What's the meaning of this? Is she mocking them for not having anyone to love them? Shisheng met the male and female lead as soon as he walked out of the restaurant. The two of them were also surrounded by people. Leng Yan grabbed Ing Su's hand. Ing Su's face was full of grief and anger. She kept struggling, but she couldn't break free from Leng Yan. This is the beginning of the torture. Yin Mian. Leng Yan had already seen Shisheng. He gritted his teeth and called out. He could see this woman everywhere. Why was she still haunting him? Son. Stepmother Shen called out briskly. Happy New Year. Leng Yan's breath was stuck in his chest. She actually said Happy New Year to him? Hiss. Leng Yan suddenly sucked in a breath of cold air. Ing Su took advantage of the time when he was talking to Shisheng to bite him. She broke free from his grip and ran to the side of the road. Leng Yan didn't have time to say anything to Shisheng and quickly chased after her. Screech. A loud braking sound came from the road. A speeding car directly hit Ing Su, who was crossing the road. Her body was thrown from high up in the air and smashed into the tailgate of the car in front of her. She rolled onto the road. If the car behind didn't stop in time, she would have been run over. Shisheng's eyes widened. This has nothing to do with her. It has nothing to do with me. So the female lead used her life to prove to us not to cross the road. Accidents will happen. Fortunately, Leng Yan was not the male lead of a tragic novel. He didn't hug the female lead and shout for her not to die. He quickly sent the female lead to the hospital for emergency treatment. He heard that her life was not in danger, but her legs were crippled. When Shisheng heard the news, he was already preparing to board the plane at the airport. The original owner's legs were also crippled, but now it was the female lead's turn. Huangshan village was as desolate as ever. Shisheng brought Su Shanshan back. The villagers were very surprised. They didn't expect Su Shanshan to come back to visit them during the new year. Su Shanshan talked to the villagers. Shisheng stood alone in the distance. The villagers didn't speak to her, so no one came forward. But they all knew deep down that she was a good person. If Shisheng knew what they were thinking, he would definitely mock them back. She was a good person? She never was. She did the side quest because she liked Su Shanshan. If she didn't like her, she would never do it. Su Shanshan didn't stay in Huangshan village for long. It would be New Year's Eve in a few days. She couldn't let Shisheng spend New Year's with her here. There was a cold snap on the way back. The plane was delayed. It was already New Year's Eve when they arrived in a city. The streets were deserted. Only the fireworks in the sky made the world bustling and noisy. Sister, it's so good to be able to spend New Year's with you. Su Shanshan leaned on the car window and looked at the fireworks outside gratefully. Shisheng didn't respond. She looked at the time. It was too late. Forget it. Next time. When they reached home, the fireworks outside suddenly increased. The clock pointed to 12 o'clock. Asterisk, please vote. Chapter 691. After washing up, Shisheng lay on the bed and sent a Happy New Year to the number that had never replied to her before. She threw her phone away and curled up under the blanket. Why is it so tiring to chase after Feng Ci? Every time, I can't take it anymore. But what can I do if I really like him? I really want to tie him to my side forever. The host's thoughts are so dangerous. Ding! Just as Shisheng was about to fall asleep, a text message notification suddenly rang. Shisheng reached for her phone and opened it, but it was a spam message. She returned to the page, but other than the message she sent, there was no reply. Shisheng sighed and was about to turn off her phone when suddenly, there was a whoosh and 4 words appeared on the blank screen. Shisheng blinked, turned back and clicked on it again. After confirming that it was not a random channel, she immediately called him back. However, no one answered the phone. On the other side, Shifei looked at the vibrating phone and reached out his hand for a long time without letting it fall. This feeling came too abruptly, so abrupt that he was caught off guard. He retracted his hand and slumped into the chair. The flickering lights outside reflected on his expressionless face. There was a hint of hesitation in his indifference. The light from the phone dimmed and the fireworks outside stopped, plunging the room into darkness. Only the coldness and loneliness of the room remained. On the first day of the new year, there were still very few people on the streets. Shisheng stood on the side of the street, wrapped in thick clothes. When the cold wind blew, it was so cool that she wanted to kill someone. A black sports car whizzed past her and drove back a moment later. The car window rolled down, and a gust of warm air spilled out. The other party handed a bag to Shisheng from the passenger seat. We're done with the money and goods. Shisheng took the bag, opened it and took out a small box inside. I'll leave when I'm sure there's no problem. The other party waved his hand and rolled up the car window. The car instantly glided out and disappeared around the corner in the blink of an eye. Shisheng took the box back and fiddled with it for a long time. Su Shanshan called her several times, but she didn't come out. Shisheng's room was a mess, filled with tiny parts. She sat on the floor and played with a watch in her hand. It was a very retro watch. Even if it was placed in ancient times, it wouldn't stand out. The dial was a sparkling and translucent flower. Its petals were spread out, layer upon layer. It was lifelike and covered the entire dial. The center of the flower was connected to the needle. When the needle moved, it seemed to move the petals below it. Shisheng finished loading the last part. Shisheng looked at his watch and sighed. It was still not enough. The spirit chi in this plane wasn't good enough, so the formation drawn didn't have the expected effect. When Su Shanshan called him for the nth time, Shisheng put the things away and opened the door to leave. At the hospital, Su leaned against the bed and looked at Leng Yan coldly. Leng Yan stood by the bed and his expression was not good either. He took a deep breath and softened his tone. Can't we talk about it? Poppy's eyes suddenly turned red, but he bit his lip, not allowing his tears to fall. What is there to talk about? Leng Yan sat beside her and held her shoulders. What happened to you? Why did you run away on the day of the engagement? Do you know how embarrassing it was for me? Su looked at him and said word by word, Leng Yan, it's impossible between us. Why? Leng Yan tightened his grip and raised his voice. You have to give me a reason. I don't love you anymore, okay? Su also shouted. She couldn't hold back her tears, and they poured out from her eyes. If you don't like me, then why are you crying? Leng Yan pinched Su's chin and kissed her directly. Su could only resist with sobs. Slap. Crash. Leng Yan tilted his head slightly. Su's hand stopped in midair. Blood poured out from the back of her hand and dripped on the pure white blanket. The 4 bottle next to her shattered on the ground. Leng Yan, it's over. Su suppressed the sadness in her heart and tried to say this sentence heartlessly. What right did she have to be with him? To be with the son of her father's murderer? Okay. Lung Yen nodded and suddenly got up to leave. Su covered her face. Her suppressed cries echoed in the ward. She thought that this would make Lung Yen give up, but she didn't expect that Lung Yen didn't intend to let her go at all. When she was discharged from the hospital, Lung Yan's people directly brought her to the mansion. She was someone who couldn't even walk. How could she be a match for these people? Lung Yen came to see her almost every day, but every time he touched her, she felt humiliated, but her body couldn't resist him. After a period of time, when she recovered from her injuries, Lung Yen went even further. He didn't care about her wishes and directly used force. During that time, Su even wanted to kill Lung Yen. However, to prevent her from escaping, Lung Yen kept all the weapons in the room. Su's heart was tormented. On one side was the person she loved, on the other was a blood feud. How should she choose? No, she didn't want to choose either. She only wanted to escape now. She was a cripple. What choice did she have? Su felt someone enter the room. Lung Yen wouldn't come at this time, so it must be the servant who delivered the food. I don't want to eat. Su's voice was hoarse. The footsteps behind her were getting closer and closer. Su's body couldn't move, but she still had other abilities. These footsteps, Ling Yi. Su turned her head and saw a familiar face. Su. Ling Yi took a few steps forward and squatted beside her, his face full of heartache. Are you okay? She wasn't okay, but what could she do even if she said it? Why are you here? It's dangerous here. I'm here to take you away. Ling Yi held Su's hand. Su, come with me. You're not happy here. Whether you agree or not, I'm going to take you away. I can't watch Lung Yen treat you like this. Ling Yi's tone was firm. If Lung Yen treated her well, he wouldn't say anything. But look at what Lung Yen had done. He tortured the girl he liked to this extent. Ling Yi, you're no match for Lung Yen. Su shook her head. Now that the Black Tiger clan was gone, the Green Dragon clan was the only clan in power. Even if they escaped, where could they go? If they were caught by Lung Yen, Ling Yi would lose his life. She couldn't watch Ling Yi die because of her. I'm not, but someone is. Ling Yi patted Su's hand. Su, someone wants to deal with the Green Dragon clan. When the time comes, I'll take advantage of the chaos to take you away. Wait for my news. Ling Yi got up and kissed Su's forehead. Su, I love you. Perhaps he was afraid of hearing an answer he didn't want to hear. So Ling Yi didn't wait for Su's reply and quickly left the room. Su raised her hand to touch her forehead in a daze. She could still feel the warmth of Ling Yi's lips. Chapter 692. Ling Yi left the mansion, crossed a few streets and entered a hotel. He took the elevator to the presidential suite on the top floor. The people outside the door searched him before letting him in. In the room, a tall man stood in front of the window, looking indifferently at the traffic and high-rise buildings below. Isolated from the noise below, the whole room was silent. Ling Yi walked 2 meters behind Shifei. As soon as he stood still, he heard a voice in front of him. Mr. Ling, have you thought about it? Yes. Ling Yi nodded. Before he went to see Su, he might have been a little hesitant, but after seeing Su, he would not hesitate anymore. Lung Yen was not sincere to her at all. Someone came forward, and Ling Yi took out a USB flash drive from the inside of his clothes. It stored the strongholds and main contacts of the Green Dragon clan in various cities, as well as some industries. It took a long time for the Black Tiger clan to collect it, but before they could deal with the Green Dragon clan, they were wiped out by the police. He escaped with this thing, but he did not expect to be found by this man. May I ask, Mr. Shi, why do you want to deal with the Green Dragon clan? Mo clan and the Green Dragon clan had different territories, and there was no such thing as fighting over territory. Was Mo clan planning to expand the domestic market? Ling Yi was just curious, but he did not care much. He just wanted to save Su, and then find a place with her to live an ordinary life. Even if she did not love him, he was willing to take care of her for the rest of his life. Shifei turned around. In the backlight, The man's figure was tall, like an overlord overlooking the world, with an unparalleled aura. It was blasphemous to look at him more, because he had thoughts he shouldn't have. When Lingy went down from the elevator, a girl passed by him. He was slightly stunned and turned back. From the gap of the elevator door slowly closing, he saw a slightly familiar side profile. He looked at the elevator. This was the exclusive elevator to the top floor. She went to see Shifei? Lingy suddenly remembered the man's words, and had thoughts he shouldn't have. Leng Yan and Yin Mian? Shisheng reached the top floor, but Shifei's people stopped her directly outside, and did not allow her to enter. Shisheng was so angry that she wanted to draw her sword. Just as she was about to do so, Shifei appeared at the door. Let her in. The bodyguards immediately stopped and went back to their positions. They stood still like statues, as if they were not the ones who were fighting with Shisheng just now. Shisheng gave him the middle finger, straightened his clothes and walked into the room. The bodyguards. They were just doing their job. The weather in March and April had begun to warm up, but it was still a little cold. The heater was not turned on in the room, but Shifei was only wearing a thin shirt. Shifei was putting on his watch. The exquisite watch set off his slender and beautiful hands. Miss Yan, what's the matter? Shisheng walked over in a few steps and held his hand. Shifei raised his head slightly and looked at her with slight confusion. Shisheng's lips curled into a smile. His smile was very faint, but it slowly rippled from the bottom of his eyes to the bottom of his heart. She took off the wristwatch that had not been fastened on his wrist. When Shifei came back to his senses, he had already put on another watch. Shisheng pinched his hand and turned it back and forth, seemingly a little dissatisfied. It's still not good enough. Then she smiled and said, It's okay. Wear it first. I'll add it later when I have the chance. Shifei looked at the watch on his wrist. Most watches were mechanical, exquisite and elegant, but they were far inferior to the one on his hand. If it weren't for the fact that its hands were moving, it would be more like a piece of art in an exhibition hall, spanning across time. It was a little cold when he first put it on, but now he could feel a warmth slowly ironing from his wrist to his heart. But why did the carving inside look a little familiar? Miss Yan, Shisheng interrupted Shifei and said indifferently, Throw it away if you don't want it. Shifei, is it really okay for you to force me to give you something? He reached out and touched the wristband made of an unknown material, sighed slightly, let go of his hand, and put down his sleeve to block the watch. Miss Yan, what can I do for you? Can't I come to you? Miss Yan, I'm very busy. Shifei put away the other things on the table and lowered his eyes, not daring to look at Shisheng. As soon as he saw her, he didn't want to look away, as if he couldn't get enough of her. I won't disturb you. Shifei, you're disturbing me by being here. I can't concentrate at all. Shifei suddenly looked up and said seriously, Miss Yan, I remember saying that I have a fiancé. Then do you mind having one more? Damn liar. How dare you lie to I that I have a fiancé? I do mind. Shisheng grinned, full of smiles. What's your fiancé's name? Shifei felt that Shisheng's smile was a little malicious. His mind turned quickly, and he made up a name. Lisa. Oh. Shisheng's calm voice made Shifei feel even more strange. Then he heard her say maliciously, Then you won't mind if I kill her, right? Shifei. She's a girl, always talking about killing. She doesn't act like a girl at all. But why is his heart beating so fast? There was a voice in his heart shouting, It's her. It's her. He was stunned. Who is she? After a long time, Shifei sighed. You win. He admitted defeat. Some feelings were probably really irresistible. The most terrible thing was that he didn't want to at all. If he could, he should have left here and left her when he got the things. But he didn't. He stayed, not because of business, but because of her. Even if they didn't get along for long, they didn't even meet officially a few times. But he cared about her so much. So Mr. Shi, are you willing to have one more fiancé now? Shifei didn't answer her but waved at her. Shisheng looked at him suspiciously. Is he going to beat me up? She walked over slowly. Shifei looked down at her, and slowly leaned over. His handsome face was magnified in Shisheng's eyes. His warm breath fell on her face, the tip of her nose, and soft lips covered her lips. It was a little cold, but she was very familiar with his breath. This kiss was very light, just a light touch. He leaned over slightly, took the coat from behind her, and walked out with his arm around her. Sheng. Damn. When did my C's boyfriend power become so strong? Leave this kind of thing to me. The bodyguards outside were equally stunned when they saw their president. She come out with Sheng in his arms. Miss Yen, you're amazing. The door isn't even closed, and you've already taken down our president. Feng Ci. I'm going to start my counterattack. Little fairy. You're so shameless. My Sheng will crush you anytime. Feng Ci, stepmother. Little fairy. I'm Sheng's biological mother. That's enough. Feng Ci, since you're right, I won't argue with you. Little fairy. I'd better ask for votes. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.